To the US Cellular Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where tonight the Chicago Storm renews a young rivalry with the Milwaukee Wave on Comcast Sports Net Chicago. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Ken Tomas, working alongside David Moxon tonight. Mox, this is the second of 8 meetings between these two teams. The first one really showed the difference between a young and up-and-coming team and a veteran squad.
You know what, Ken, absolutely. And you know what, Keith Toes and the Milwaukee Wave haven't made it to the MISL Finals 6 out of the last 7 years for nothing. This is a game I can guarantee you that in the beginning of the season when the schedule came out, Keith Toes are putting a W next to it.
It might be a little easier for him tonight because the big news for the Storm is bad news for the Storm. Captain Ted Chronopoulos out with a foot injury. Who steps into that leadership role?
That's, I think, a player that they'll afford to lose, but I think Novi's going to have to step up to them. He's played in championship games before. He's played in front of big crowds. He's used to this type of pressure. He's going to have to get the job done.
Interesting coaching matchup as well. Keith Tozer approaching 600 wins for Milwaukee. Frank Corpus looking for his first for Chicago. We'll talk to both coaches in Coach's Corner coming up after this break. You're watching Chicago Storm Soccer on Comcast Sports Net Chicago.
I really believed that no matter what I was asked to do, if I did it harder than anybody else, sooner or later that I would be recognized for it. Hard working. You want an honest, hard day's work for an honest dollar. That's what Chevy gives you.
Now get $4,500 cash back and $500 football bonus cash for $5,000 total cash back on a new 04 Trailblazer. Plus, get an extra $1,500 bonus cash with GMAC financing.
What makes me a Chevy guy is pretty simple. It's about getting the job done.
Bringing home your firstborn, teaching your child to ride a bike in the neighborhood, celebrating birthdays and holidays. Each one of these special moments begins at home. As Chicagoland's #1 home seller, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage knows the importance of finding the ideal home for our clients. Our realtors are simply the best in the business and will be with you every step of the way. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage serves every community throughout Chicagoland. Visit ColdwellBankerOnline.com to find an agent near you.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep. Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken.
Take two. Sorry.
Shit.
Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
Hi, I'm Keith Tozer, head coach of the Milwaukee Wave, and some of the keys to tonight's game are, 1, ball possession. The team that has the ball the most is going to dictate the flow and the momentum of the game. 2, who can stay away from mental mistakes. Indoor soccer is a menagerie of turnovers, and a team that can win more balls and get counterattacks and win goals. And I think offensive restarts in the power play will also be an important key to tonight's victory.
Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Lopez, head coach of the Chicago Storm. I'd like to welcome everyone to Comcast Sports Net. Another big night, big game for us this evening. I think the keys tonight is being disciplined, being organized. I think being very good with the ball. I think that last time we gave too many easy goals away. When we do win the ball, we have to be good and as far as decision making, when to play early, when to hold the ball. And I think we have to use the boards a little bit more. When we lose it, we have to be a little bit more decisive when to put pressure. When we do put pressure, I think the defenders have to step up. When we don't, then we have to drop back, stay organized, and we do win it, we have to break. Because we have quick players, and we got to use that to our advantage.
guaranteed for the life of the athlete.
Saturday, November 6th, the regular season tips off on Comcast Sports Net. Kurt Heinrich leads the charge as the young Bulls look to send an early season message. Oh, yeah! When they square up against Jermaine O'Neal and the powerhouse Pacers. Start the night with a half hour's worth of pregame news and notes on Sports Night. Then, after the game, be sure to stick around for Bulls postgame live. Bulls Pacers, the regular season is here. Saturday, November 6th, only on Comcast Sports Net.
Live from US Cellular Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it's Chicago Storm soccer as tonight the Storm take on the Milwaukee Wave. I'm Ken Tomash along with David Moxham, and Dave, you could say this is a mecca of sorts for indoor soccer. We're underway already. The Storm in white and black shorts, white socks. I
can't hear anything.
That ball out of play. That'll be a restart opportunity for the Wave. The Wave in their home blues, blue, white, and blue. Starters quickly for you. Chicago starts a little change in goal. Danny Waldman starts in goal tonight. After Jeff Ritchie had a bit of a tough start. And now quickly they try to clear it out of their own end. Here's Alvarez, Byron Alvarez, playing it back to Kosteo Deku up here off the wall. There's Carrieri. Boy, Dasowski, he really wants to rough up Carrieri, and here we see some physical play right off the bat, Much. Well, this will be a dangerous restart opportunity here for the Wave as Dasowski right from the yellow line. And right off the bat, 23 seconds in, that's a terrible defensive misplay right there, David.
Well, I can tell you, Ken, that's the difference between the Milwaukee Wave and the Chicago Storm. I think set pieces are going to be crucial tonight, both offensively and defensively for the Chicago Storm. That's an unlucky way to begin the game.
Well, so Danny Waltman gets a rough finish.
Ken, I can tell you, being an expansion franchise, that's going to be one of the things they're going to need to work on because set pieces in indoor soccer, it's critical.
Well, Milwaukee scored first in that first game down at UIC, and the Storm did stay composed and came back and tied it up. They'll have to do that again. And now they'll play it down into the corner, but Aka is there. Boy, he's a tough guy to try to play balls over or around, isn't he?
Absolutely. Loveless Aka, one of the toughest players in the indoor game today.
Now we'll see the Wave, as now with an early lead, something you love to have. The veteran team very competitive. Here in the early going. Back to Aka in the center circle. Now here's Torres. That one's off the glass and no, cleared away in front, luckily there by Jonah Long. And before the Storm can counterattack, the Wave comes back and collects.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Chicago Storm pressures the Milwaukee Wave when Dan Green has the ball. And right now they're playing 5 behind the ball, which I think is the right move.
Here come the Wave again. Looking for Burke, who scored 2 goals in that game at the Pavilion. A shot off the glass, held in. Greenfield with a shot, and it's blocked away there. Chicago just looks kind of frantic here in the early going. They really need to get composed a couple minutes in. I think once they take a breath and get a chance to say, okay, you know, it's only 1 goal, and a one goal in indoor doesn't mean a whole lot.
It doesn't mean a whole lot, and I'll tell you, one of the keys for Chicago tonight is to match the Milwaukee Wave's intensity. If they can match their intensity for the first 5 minutes of the game, it's going to make a whole lot of a difference.
And there's a foul, in case you tuned in late, just 23 seconds in. Schmidt gets the goal. Matt Schmidt gets the goal at the 23-second mark with the assist to Todd Dasowski, and that's given Milwaukee the 1-0 lead here. We're less than 3 minutes in, and the Storm trying to weather a storm here in the early going as they try to get their legs under them in the first road game in team history.
And this is what Milwaukee loves to do. Dump the ball in the corner to Tadasowski and then run off of him.
Now here's Mormon collecting that rebound. Akaw on the side. Now the Wave slows down a bit, but you can see that they're very deliberate. They seemingly know exactly where they want to go and exactly what they want to do.
Offensively, it's going to be really important for the Milwaukee Wave to keep possession, and conversely, defensively for Chicago, they're going to need to be patient as well.
There's Jonah Long trying to clear that one out in the corner. Gets tied up there with Greg Howes. And King's shot goes just wide. Now here's Carrieri. And again, that Milwaukee defense won't let the Storm get through. Here's Revillo. Getting away from Leo Pernia. Just play like that landed Leo in the sin bin twice.
And again, you know what? This is beginning game jitters, I think, for Chicago. They need to keep possession. If they can't keep the ball, playing defense for 90 minutes is going to be difficult.
Now quickly, 2-on-2, and Waltman makes his first stop. That's got to do a lot for his confidence, his first indoor game. Once you get that first one as a keeper, makes you feel a little bit better. Now here's Gaston Pernia tracking back. Here, Lazo Alavagna. Alvarez turns and sends it off the glass, and just missing connections there was Matthew Stewart, former Wave player, now with the Storm.
And this is good. Chicago pulling the ball back down, forces Milwaukee to make the field a little bit bigger.
Here's Novi. Matt Oryevich, who is the captain tonight in the absence of Ted Chronopoulos. Jorge Valle. Missed connections with Novi there, and it'll be Burke again. Now back to Dan Green. Plays it with the feet. 10:37 to go, first quarter. It's already 1-0 Milwaukee. Ken Tomash and David Moxon with you from US Cellular Arena in Milwaukee. As we mentioned, the Wave, best team in the indoor game in the last 5 years. Former player with the Chicago Fire. Now as a shot goes off the wall from Nino Marcantonio. Held in here by Milwaukee. And
Frankie had commented early on how they need to be disciplined playing defense, and giving up that early goal didn't help, but I think right now you're seeing Chicago playing much better.
I see Andy Rosenband chasing that one down into the corner. Futagaki putting a little pressure on as well. Will pop back out here, and Guastafaro will play it off the wall. Now quickly, here come the Wave again. Nice tackle there by Jonah Long. But Milwaukee again, possession. You heard Keith Tozer say in the pregame show, possession in indoor, very crucial.
They'll keep it all day long, and they'll look to isolate Greg Howes or Tadasowski deep. It's going to be important for Gaston and Leo to front the forwards.
Now here's Howes. Pernia tries to slide tackle it away and can't. Howes was the league MVP a year ago and the leading scorer. Now here's Mormon. Alvagna tackles that one away. Pernia heads it down. That one goes off Johnny Torres, and quickly, here come the Wave again, and Waltman again makes the save. Now here's where you see the arm of Danny Waltman, and a little bit too much. Frank Lopez was telling me before the game that he loves Waltman's arm. He'll come up firing that time. The problem is, come up firing a little bit too long. It's a two-line pass. Now it puts your team in a bad situation.
And I think he does look confident in goal, but those are mistakes that a goalkeeper just can't make. It gives the Milwaukee Wave the ball exactly where they want it. And now Chicago hopefully is going to learn from their mistakes, get their defensive assignments, and keep Milwaukee off the board.
It seems like that's one of the first times that the ball has actually not been in play since we started. And at least Chicago can take a breath and set up.
Well, I think it's an exciting time to be a Chicago Storm fan. These guys out here are experiencing things for the first time. They're going to take their lungs, but I can tell you they're playing hard.
Here's Schmidt now. This restart opportunity. He'll lay it off on the side. They'll work it down. Look how they work it down to the corner, but Pernia clears it away for Chicago. Now it's Alvarez on those boards with Schmidt on him.
And again, Chicago dispossessed right away. We're going to have to find a way to win the ball from Milwaukee and be poised and keep possession. Let Milwaukee play defense for a little bit.
Something they haven't had to do much of so far. They've had the majority of the run of play here in the first 6.5 minutes. Now here's Torres, marked by Carrieri. Revillo now. Up to Burke, who loses it. Dayco sends it back. Here's Danny Waltman.
And again, that's a two-line pass. From the goalkeeper's feet, he's not able to play the ball beyond the yellow and the midline. So that's going to give Milwaukee another opportunity at the yellow line.
Danny played outdoors with the Seattle Sounders of the A-League, and yeah, it's a different game. It's a way different game.
It's a way different game, and that's something that the Chicago fans, you know, they're going to learn a lot of the players.
Now here's Milwaukee. Out to Ravillo, who had a pair of goals in that game last Saturday night at the UIC Pavilion. To Mormon, now Ravillo is off. Dump it off to Burke, Alvagna on him. Mark Antonio again, pushed off the ball by Alvagna, and he gets it right back from him in the corner. And they'll call Mark Antonio for the foul. Nino, another one of those guys who played outdoor in the summer for Wave United. Man from Italy and the University of Maryland. Now here come the Storm. Looking again. Matthew Stewart. And taken right back by the Wave. Here's White. Back to Aka.
Milwaukee's going to be really patient with the ball. They know now with the 1-0 lead that they can dictate the pace of play. Chicago's going to have to find a way to get forward and attack.
They do look more organized, though, now, wouldn't you say that? Than the first couple minutes when they look like chickens with their heads down.
Yeah, and you know what? That's going to happen. One of the things they needed to do was to match Milwaukee's intensity, and they've done that. It's taken them 6 minutes, but they've done that.
Now here's Rosenband. Back to Gaston Pernia. Got a...
I'll tell you, Ken, for this to be a true rivalry, a couple of things are going to need to happen. One, Chicago's going to need to beat Milwaukee in their building, and two, they're going to need to be a bit more physical. You know, they're going to need to ride a couple guys into the boards because right now, to be quite honest, the Milwaukee Wave doesn't respect the Chicago Storm.
That's what we saw in the game in Chicago. We saw a very physical team that came out and just played hard. And when you have the horses to do that, you can do that. Frank Lopa's still looking for guys who can do that. Here's Dusoski laying it off to Greenfield. Nice through ball, but almost got it to Mark Antonio. Did not. Now that one goes off foot of Funagaki and turns into a goal. So a giveaway, another miscue, and the Storm are down 2-0.
What these guys are going to realize really quickly is that indoor is a totally different game. Especially in your defensive third, you have to play with poise and composure. Losing the ball in your defensive third, critical mistake.
All right, King gets the goal. And it's 2-0 Milwaukee, but we'll take a break and come right back. You're watching Chicago Storm Soccer on Comcast Sports Net.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hi there, Miss Eden.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Eden.
35.
These kids realize that before anything great happens, you're going to have to do an awful lot of hard work. And hopefully they'll understand that at the end of that hard work, there is rewards. If you have enough people believing in it, anything's possible.
Now get an 04 Impala with $3,500 cash back and $500 football bonus cash for a total cash back of $4,000. Plus, get an extra $1,000 bonus cash with GMAC financing.
I predict that they're going to have something special happen to them this year.
Back at US Cellular Arena, and the Storm in a hole early. 6.5 minutes to play in the first, and Milwaukee has struck for 2 goals on 2 defensive miscues by the Storm. I'm Ken Tomas along with David Moxham, and here comes the Storm now with a little deeper hole to dig out of. It's Kostea Deku on the overlap. The one thing, David, about indoor, you know, well, at least you hope, you're going to get your goals. It's just a matter of when you get that first one, you hope it isn't 3 or 4-0 by the time you get your first one, because that'll settle things down a little bit.
That's exactly. I think right now they've settled down defensively. They just got to find a way to keep possession.
Got to find a goal scorer. Will it be Jorge Valle, who just dropped that one off to Pernia? Now Gaston knocks it long. Down in the corner, looking for Valle. Battle for it there with Leo Pernia. He's right in the middle of a Wave sandwich. He's seriously outweighed by Greg Howes, and so are a lot of guys. Now here's the Wave. That one off the wall, and Carrieri has it. to Valle. Tries to spin around Schmidt. Wow.
And that's well done again. That was a good job of creating a loose ball situation. And I'll tell you, that's one thing that Baltimore did in the final last year. They high pressured the Milwaukee Wave and took advantage of the slower recovery speed.
Here's Carrieri now off the restart. To Jonah Long. They'll play catch out top. Long now in that corner. In front, but headed away before Stewart can get there. Can Carrieri keep it in? He does. Carrieri now off the wall. In front, and Valle just misconnecting. That would have made it 2-1.
Well done by Chris Carrieri, taking the ball, using the boards. Unlucky.
Now here's Stewart, and Green equal to the task. Carrieri said before we came up here today, David, he said, give me 10 games to learn this indoor game. And Frank Lopez said, it won't take you that long, Chris. He knows he's a good player, but it is different learning to play not only with new teammates, but with boards and everything.
It's going to take all these guys a good 2 months before they feel comfortable playing indoor. Here we go.
Novi, though. That's a great ball off to Rosenband. Rosenband with a shot, and it's saved there by Green. I'll tell you what, when you lose a guy like Vic Nagira, and you come back and you're still the best defensive team in the league, that's a great testament not only to the defenders but to Green and Vorberg, who did a great job last year.
Yeah, well, we talked with Keith Toes before the game. If you count last year's 3 games in Baltimore in their first exhibition game this year, they gave up a total of 39 goals. They want to go back to being that dominating defensive team.
Well, they like to hold teams to 3 goals or less, which is ambitious. They did it in the opener in Chicago and working on a shutout right now with 4:27 to go in the first quarter. And Chicago looking to break through for the first time. Milwaukee looking to build on a 2-0 lead. There's Lovell Sakah, who had a goal in that game in Chicago. To Pat White, still in his own end as the Wave very happy to just play keep away for a little bit. To Jasowski, right in front, and it's 3-0. Oh, this is a nightmare for Frank Lopez. 10 minutes in to be down 3-0.
Again, we talked in the opening, the difference between the Milwaukee Wave and the Chicago Storm, unfortunately, if you're a Storm fan at this point, is experience. Milwaukee Wave is going to continually dump the ball into the corner for Tadasowski. Defensively for the Storm, you have to stay with your runner. If you watch the ball even for a second, Todd will find that open player.
Well, Jasowski's scoring is nothing new. Those two guys are a great brother act here. They've been playing together here for the last several years, but they broke in together at the age of 19 with the old Cleveland Crunch, so they know each other very well, and it's a great set of twins for Milwaukee to have. Meanwhile, the brothers that Chicago have, Gaston and Leo Pernia, playing together again for the first time in quite a while, still getting used to it. 3:52 to play, first quarter. It's already 3-0 Milwaukee, but stay with us, folks. If you haven't watched the indoor game before, a 3-0 lead can evaporate pretty quickly. There will be a lot of goals scored tonight. Chicago hopes they get some of them themselves. There's Nino Marcantonio missing, and Byron Alvarez controls, and Chicago moves it out of their own end. Here's Deku now, up to Futagaki. One touch, a bad one touch, and there's King. And quickly here off the counterattack come the Wave again. Greenfield, good slide tackle there by Jonah Long. A Kaw in that corner. Marcantonio with a shot right into the gut of Danny Walton. 3:13 to play as Futagaki dumps it off there to Costafaro. Back now to Gaston Pernia.
Now this is good. Now Chicago just needs to keep possession.
There's Jorge Valle. Valle gets it to go. Boy, that's not very pretty, but when you're down 3-0, it's a beautiful thing to see that ball go in the back of the net.
And that's a typical indoor soccer goal. Ball's played in the corner. Great individual effort. Sneaks the ball past Danny Green for a goal.
Oh, you know, if you're Dan Green, you know Dan Green is thinking that that's just a mistake.
And that's the type of goal that Chicago needs to get back in this game. Now it's going to force Milwaukee to look to open it up a bit more and see if they can't get a fourth.
Well, Chicago was down 4-1 after 10 minutes of the opener. Came back and got within 4-3 before Milwaukee stormed out and won at 8-3. Now we'll see if getting that goal puts a little more spring in their step, and if they're able to tighten up defensively and maybe get another one here. Here's the Wave holding it in, taken away by Carrieri, who makes a nice defensive play. By that time, he was a man on an island out there in the Milwaukee end. Troy Jasowski whistled for the
And this
foul.
is something that Milwaukee Wave, they get themselves in trouble a whole lot. They get up by 3 goals, and then the next thing you know, they start playing undisciplined. So this is a great opportunity for Chicago to get themselves back in the game.
Now here's Alvania. They're up high in the air, and Alvania wins the header to the feet of Rosenband. Kosteadeku is back on. Dumps it into the corner looking for Carrieri. With White on him, Carrieri turns on it, but first the foul. Rich Grady, the referee, saying that Carrieri pushed off. He was able to make that turn.
And I'll tell you, I'd like to see more of that from Chris. You know, it's not necessarily in the best part of the field if you're the Chicago Storm, but I think we need to get more physical on the with the yellow and black.
Valle from Gaston Pernia at 11:59 for the Chicago goal, and now here's Milwaukee looking for another. Jasowski in the corner with Alvania on him. That one skips to Waltman. There you see that big overhand throw. This time he keeps it low and avoids the two-line pass, and Alvarez tries to get past Aka. It's tough to do. Now Milwaukee with Jasowski in the far boards. Now here's Howes. At a leisurely pace as Mormon gets pressure from Stewart. Plays it over to Howes with Alvarez on him. Howes with a big shot and a big save by Waltman. Cleared away by the Chicago defense, and they'll tap it back to Green. Minute and a half to play in the first quarter. 3-1 Milwaukee as Aka dumps it down. Try to lay that one off. Nothing doing there for Milwaukee. Quickly, here comes Chicago back the other way with Valle, the goal scorer. He's got Novi on left wing. Tries to send it through to Gaston Pernia on right wing, but it's intercepted there by the Wave. And now Johnny Torres doesn't see the numbers and plays it back to Aka.
And that's a good attack by Chicago. As the game progresses, we're seeing them a little bit more comfortable in the scheme offensively, starting to generate some nice attacks.
Torres now with a minute left in the quarter. To the yellow line, Deku knocks it back the other way. Revillo. Under a minute to go in the quarter. White plays it here to Jasowski. Big left foot goes almost through, but knocked here into the corner. Now here's Futagaki trying to clear. Milwaukee holds it in. They chip it over in that corner looking for Pat White. Valle on him. Deku gives him a hip check. Deku will be called for the foul with 28 seconds left.
And if you're Deku, that's exactly what you don't want. With 28 seconds left in the quarter, you fought yourself back in the game. Now you've given Milwaukee a great chance from the right side.
And they're dangerous on restarts.
Look for Milwaukee maybe to call a timeout here.
Exactly right. As Keith Tozier does want to talk it over, what do you think he's going to do here with 28 seconds left to try to get that last goal?
Well, I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to talk to Artie Kramer. Artie Kramer is our free kick specialist. And one of the advantages that you have if you're the Milwaukee Wave is you have a lot of experience on the field. Look for Todd Osowski to be on the ball, and he's going to look to play his brother on the left foot on the far side. But they're going to have options, make no mistake about it.
If you're Frank Klopas, then what do you do defensively?
Don't watch the ball. Everybody's going to have a defensive responsibility. Make sure that you have the far post covered, and make sure that if the ball comes out high to the top of the arc, that you sacrifice your body and look to get the block.
Well, with 28 seconds left here, the Storm would have to figure that if they can get out of this last 28 seconds, get a blow, get to the bench with the first quarter in the books, only down 3-1. Considering how the game started, I would consider that a victory.
Yeah, you know what? I think they're exactly where they want to be. The Milwaukee Wave in their last 20 openers are 14-6. They do not lose at home. They're playing an expansion team. If I'm Frankie Klopas, I'm saying, you know what? We've done a good job weathering the storm. Let's look to get out of this half at 3-1. The quarter, excuse me.
As we mentioned, a 3-1 lead is nothing in indoor. We could see 10 or 12 more goals scored here tonight. And you mentioned the Waves' dominance at home, David. They were 16-2 last year. In the last 9 years, they've won 87% of their games, both here in this building and across the street at the Bradley Center.
But Baltimore proved in the final last year that they can be beaten at home.
All right, here's the restart. After that foul in the corner, 28 seconds left. Todd Jasowski on the ball. Not particularly well played, and Carrieri has made a couple of nice defensive plays tonight. Gets it out for Chicago, and now the Storm have a chance with time running out, 15 ticks left. Here's Long. Showing along, back out to Andy Guastafaro. Guastafaro with a huge shot that just misses. Here's Rosenband with a shot. Mormon standing right there, and that'll do it for the quarter. Well, They finish with a flurry, but they're down 3-1. Back with the second quarter after this. This is Storm Soccer on Comcast.
Bringing home your firstborn, teaching your child to ride a bike in the neighborhood, celebrating birthdays and holidays. Each one of these special moments begins at home. As Chicagoland's #1 home seller, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage knows the importance of finding the ideal home for our clients. Our realtors are simply the best in the business and will be with you every step of the way. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage serves every community throughout Chicagoland. Visit ColdwellBankerOnline.com to find an agent near you.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep.
Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken.
Take two. Sorry.
Shit.
Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
Hey, Vinny. Oh, hi there, Miss Heaton.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
On aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Heaton.
35.
There was 8 foot of snow that year in 1979. Well, I wound up getting a Chevy Blazer. You got to get from here as a player to there, take care of your job and your responsibilities. That's what Chevy does. They get you from here to there. That's what I want in a vehicle.
Now get $4,500 cash back plus $1,000 GMAC bonus cash on an 04 Chevy Suburban or Tahoe with GMAC financing. That's $4,500 cash back plus $1,000 GMAC bonus cash.
I think there's a lot of ways to go in life. I wanted to be a Chevy man.
Last week on Comcast Sports Net, if you just got the scores, you didn't get the whole picture.
Doing good. You know, I got went over and seen the doctor and did the whole physical thing, and then I came back and did a little workout and threw some balls, and went all right.
I prefer to fly underneath the radar, and I really think you can get things done, as opposed to just looking like you're out there trying to get things done. I have no interest in trying to prove to the public that I'm out there working.
Get your game on Comcast Sports Net. Get sports from someone who gets local sports on Comcast Sports Net. Our team covers your teams morning, noon, and night. Nightly at 6:30, 10, and midnight. Get all the news and highlights of the day on Sports Night. We are your locker room pass inside the action. After the game, Post-Game Live brings you complete breakdowns and analysis, live interviews, and press conferences. And every morning, get the sports news you need to start the day on Sports Rise. Comcast Sports Net is the best place to go before, during, and after the game.
We're back in Milwaukee. Don't forget to vote on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, don't forget to come out to the UIC Pavilion to see the Storm against the Cleveland Force. 7 o'clock. Get tickets by calling 312-226-4625. Well, the Storm are going to start off with Andy Rosenband in the penalty box, a 5-minute misconduct, and it will not leave the Storm short-handed, but he must have done something at the end of that first quarter that Rich Grady didn't like.
Well, I think he had a beef with the handball that was in the box that Rich Grady missed. So, but unfortunately, he'll spend the next 5 minutes in the box for misconduct.
Again, just like in hockey, if you're new to the indoor game, there are penalties that will send players off the pitch for 2 minutes, or in this case, 5 minutes for misconduct. And usually, your team will play shorthanded. That is not the case on a 5-minute misconduct penalty. But here we do have a foul on Chicago.
And that's another thing that Milwaukee's notorious for is getting all those calls in their home building. I don't necessarily know if that was a foul.
Well, speaking of being in the home building, be sure to get season tickets. They start as low as $190. You can get those again by calling 312-226-GOAL, 226-4625, or visit chicagostorm.net for ticket information. We hope to see you Wednesday against the Cleveland Force at 7 o'clock. And now over in that corner again, here's where the Storm have to keep their composure as well. When it seems like the breaks are going against you from an officiating standpoint, sometimes the best thing to do is not to beef about it, but just to turn your back and play.
Exactly.
Another restart for the Wave in the Chicago attacking end.
Now, that's a good call. That's a good call. Greenfield makes a rookie mistake. You have 5 seconds once the referee puts the ball on the play, and that'll be Chicago's ball.
Greenfield, one of the very few rookies that Keith Tozier has on this team. He has 17 returners from last year's squad that went 27-9. And as mentioned, lost to the Baltimore Blast in the MISL finals. Shots pretty close in that first quarter, Dave. 7-5 favor Milwaukee. And after those first few minutes where Chicago weathered the storm, they've settled in here and just down 3-1.
And I certainly think Chicago could be competitive. Here we go. Here we go, counter, 3v2.
Here's Valle, but coming off the bench was Mormon. Now it's Pernia in that corner. And Aka just steps in there and takes that one for the team. King to Mormon as Milwaukee tries to play it out of their own end and does. Stolen right back away. Here's Matthew Stewart. Stewart, rather than running straight into 4 blue shirts, turns it around a little bit. Now he's got no chance but to try to go in around Aka. Those two former teammates last year. Stewart played up here and came to Chicago in the expansion draft. And Aka wins that battle. Spins out of there with it. Now, but as he dumps it, there's nobody on the receiving end of that for Milwaukee, and Futagaki has it for the Storm. Now here's Guastafaro just off Frank Lopez's bench into the game.
And this is exactly what you want right now. Chicago loses the ball there, but they seem to be dictating the pace of play.
12:47 to go, first half, 3-1 Milwaukee. Ken Tomash and David Moxon with you for the first of 7 telecasts. Sure to join us all season long here on Fox, here on Comcast Sports Net. 3-1. And now the game has settled in a bit. It was a frantic first few minutes as the Wave scored 3 goals in the first 5 minutes of play, and Chicago's been fighting uphill ever since. Here's Futagaki now. Just gave that one away, and Waltman has to come up and smother it. Now we've got a player down back behind the ball, and an official timeout as they're going to have to take a look at the Chicago player who's down.
And again, one of the keys, if you take a look at how Loveless Aka played in his own defensive third, shielding the ball from Matthew Stewart, poised, composed, gets the ball out of danger, knocks the ball deep in Chicago's end. Contrast that with the way that we played defense in this last series, deep in our own end. We don't have that pose and that composure yet as a result of the lack of experience, and Milwaukee wins the ball.
Jonah Long is up and being taken to the bench.
Can't afford to lose Jonah, too. Thin right now on the back line.
Ted Chronopoulos already out. The captain placed on the disabled list today for at least 15 days with a foot injury. Now here's Waltman with the goalkeeper distribution after the injury timeout. Play this one with his feet. In front of pressure, gives it away, and here's Ravillo for Milwaukee. Back to White. Schmidt. To Torres quickly, trying to find it to Burke, and Pernia clears. Green will come all the way out above his yellow line for that one, but with no pressure from Chicago, he can do that.
Again, if you watch Gaston as he plays Kevin Burke, he plays in front of him. Again, showing that he's played the indoor soccer game.
There's Mark Antonio now. Looking for Burke in that corner. Now there's Gaston trying to play him again. And a near miss there for Ravillo. And Waltman clears it. 11:24 to play, first half. As Ravillo brings it up for Milwaukee to the yellow line. Trying to punch it in front. Mark Antonio is there for Milwaukee, but Gaston Pernia clears it. Novi, who's been kind of quiet tonight, I don't think they've gotten Novi the ball as much as they desperately want to or need to.
And they've not gotten the ball to Alvarez either. For these guys to be successful, they're going to have to build up some sort of attack. Novi and Alvarez are at their best when they're facing guys going on one-on-one. They've not had the opportunity to do it.
Now it looks like we've got an illegal substitution call. Jonah Long whistled for the illegal substitution, as sometimes players will cross going on and off that bench, and you really have to be alert, or else you get caught with an extra man on the field. And now they're explaining that Lopez is pleading his case.
You know what, the problem I have with that, Ken, is that, you know, Rich Grady gets ample opportunity during the flow of play to blow his whistle. You know, seeing the play as I did, that's something that Rich doesn't need to call.
Andy Rosenband has still got to spend another minute 12 in the penalty box because of a misconduct penalty at the end of the first quarter. And now Long is going in as well.
And those are things that Frankie will work on. I mean, I think that's a mistake that's, again, due to a lack of experience and not necessarily...
And that's a yellow card, and it will leave the Storm shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Oh, no, it won't. It's a 5-on-5, sorry. But still, that's two players.
That's okay, Ken. You're learning too.
Yes,
that's okay.
It's been a while since the indoor game, as you can tell. Now here's Gostowski off to Levio. Milwaukee may not be on the power play, but they've succeeded in getting a couple of Storm players out of the mix.
I'll tell you right now, Chicago looks tired. Milwaukee's offense is predicated on movement on and off the ball, and Chicago's defended a lot tonight.
It's tough to keep that pace up and defend and be back on your heels.
And that's what Milwaukee wants to do. They just want to wear down this defense.
Try to lay that one off. Gostowski tried to play it back, but Valle steals it. Nice play by Jorge. Now he'll battle over on the far side with Gostowski, and I'll send it back to Green. Now here's a Ka again. Alvania steps in there. Ka tries to win it back. And it does come back to Milwaukee. Here's Howes. 2 men on him. Ka getting in that corner. Scored a rare goal in that game in Chicago last week. He's not, they don't pay Loveless Akata to score goals.
He doesn't score often, that's for sure.
But Milwaukee does, and here they are looking for another one. This is very similar to that first game, David, in that an early flurry by Milwaukee, and then Chicago kind of battens down the hatches. And there, Waltman with a big stop. Now here's Waltman again with pressure. Sandri Namoski was on for his first shift. Here's Guastavero now as Chicago with a little spring in their step on the offensive end. Namoski with a shot that just misses. Try to hold it in over on that side, but Howes is there, and Valle collapses on him. Valle collapsed on him a little bit too much there, and a little delayed call. But
and Andy did well there. Andy showed a glimpse of indoor experience, pushed the ball forward, and played the ball deliberately off the boards for Valle.
That'll be a restart for Milwaukee, and they come with Gostowski. Now, little Johnny Torres. Here's Burke. It's nailed from behind by Pernia. Storm catch a break because here they come on the counter. Tried to play that one through, looking for Alvarez, but Milwaukee defense had other ideas. There's a loose ball in front, and Gostowski clears it. Deku will track back to get this one. Now guys are coming off the pitch, and they're being extra careful to make sure that there's not an extra guy when they come off that bench. Futagaki, who's seen a lot of action already, to Carrieri. Now we'll see him turn on the Jets. Nice ball in front and a goal for Pernia. Boy, Carrieri really made that happen with his speed, didn't he?
That was fantastic. There's no substitute for pure speed, and Chris Carrieri showed it right there. Again, that was the first effort tonight that we've seen Chicago really combine and show a good attack.
Now that's back-to-back goals now by Chicago. That one at the 6:09 mark. And they've clawed back into this one where after the first 5 minutes it looked like it was going to be a nightmare.
And that's huge, and that's forced Keith Tozer to call a timeout, regroup the troops. Chicago's right where they want to be right now.
Down just 3-2. Leo Pernia, that's his second goal of the year. He scored one last week as well. And now if you're Frank Lopez and the guys in white, you got to feel a whole lot better than you did 10 minutes ago.
Well, you know, you defend and you defend and you defend and you defend, and that has a tendency to take its toll on your mentality. And that's going to give the boys some confidence now that they can play with the Milwaukee Wave.
You see, Frank, and he's a very encouraging coach. He will yell when he needs to, but he mostly wants to encourage his players and have them get the best out of themselves. So he's just going to stay on guys to stay positive. And I'm sure right now he's saying, look where we were 5 minutes into this game, and look where we are now, just down 3-2 in Milwaukee's building.
Yep.
We'll take a quick break and be right back. This is Chicago Storm Soccer on Comcast Sports Net.
For those times when life's little to-do list gets you down, it's nice to know Blaine's Farm and Fleet is there to help. Right now, get peak antifreeze. A gallon is $4.99 after rebate. Pick up the Delta Diamond Tread Plate Truck Box. It's $179.99. And we have men's 6-inch Wolverine DuraShock safety boots. They're $69.99. The work and play experts. Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Farm and Fleet.
I wasn't always up to speed on the internet. Do you have any email for me? But that was then. Now thanks to Comcast, I am a broadband goddess.
House Gamer 12 has left the building.
Comcast high-speed internet is always on, no dialing up, and multimedia is a snap. Their highest speed puts dial-up and DSL to shame.
I have DSL.
You're not at 3 megs? You got a life. What are you looking at?
If you ask me, it's the killer app.
That was then. This is Comcast.
We're back at US Cellular Arena, but the Storm will be back home on Wednesday against the Cleveland Force. Make sure you get your tickets by calling 312-226-GOAL. That's 312-226-4625. And if you like what you've seen so far, come on out and see it close up Wednesday night at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago's West Loop. The Storm have cut it to 3-2. We've got 8.5 minutes to play in the first half. Ken Tomash and David Moxon with you from downtown Milwaukee as Dan Green now plays it here to Mormon. Mormon will look long to Dusoski. Holds it off in the corner. He and Alvanya there make an interesting statue for a second. A shot, that one, he waved that one off. It didn't go in. That can happen so quickly.
And that's something that Gaston Pernia, as an experienced defender, he's going to play in front of Troy, and that's something that Alvanya is going to have to learn. You can't get behind Todd Dusoski. He's too big. You got to front him.
Here's Mormon with a shot off the glass. It'll be held in by Aka, who may play it back and does all the way to Green. Now, if you're Chicago, the momentum is shifted in your favor, and you can afford to be a little bit more deliberate.
Patience. Make the field as small as you can. Allow Milwaukee to keep possession and look to counter.
Here come the Wave. There's Pernia taking out King. Kings are saying, I've been at this too long to have guys dump me for
41 years old.
Here's Byron Alvarez. And he was being held up there by White, veteran defender, trying to not let him make that turn, because in indoor, if a guy can get around and make that turn and start heading to goal, it's dangerous.
Yeah, a lot of the more experienced defenders know that a guy's much more dangerous facing you than he is with his back to you.
And now off the restart, it's Chicago with a rare chance, and that one just missed. And Stewart takes a flying leap there. Novi plays it back. Gaston Pernia. It's got Deku here on the near side. Deku chips it, heading towards the goal, but not in. Good effort, though, by Alvarez. Of course, he had a great year scoring goals for the Portland Timbers of the A-League. And here comes the Storm again holding it in. They'll play it back to Waltman.
And right now, the game plan is working perfectly. Patience and discipline on defense, and keep possession when you have it. Milwaukee's starting to wear down.
Long is still in the penalty box, though it's not a shorthanded situation. Here's Nomoski just missing. That one goes off Greenfield and in. We're tied at 3. Wow.
And that's indoor soccer, and we just saw Greenfield with a rookie mistake. You wouldn't think you'd see that with the Milwaukee Wave, but again, indoor soccer. 3-3. Fantastic.
Now, you see, if you haven't seen indoor soccer before, you got to be sitting at home going, man, I kind of like this. Yeah, this is fun stuff, folks. So come on out Wednesday night and see it up close against the Cleveland Force. And now the guys in white, who were really frantic in the first 5 minutes, now with 6:52 to go, they're in a tie game. And in the last several minutes, at least, they've definitely had the run of play. Got to feel good about where they are. Now Joe Hamas is on for his first shift for Milwaukee. We didn't see him in the first quarter. He's a ball winner. Not much indoor experience at all. Played outdoor for Wave United. Now here's Mormon. 6:34 to play in the half. An own goal has given Chicago a 3-all tie. So a shot, another save by Waltman, but the loose ball corralled there by Burke. Waltman has to come back, and Alvanya tries to bail him out. As a keeper, you got to hold on to those.
Well, I'll tell you, I thought he had possession. I think Rich Grady needs to get his whistle in his mouth.
Torres now for Milwaukee. Tried to lay that one in, and Pernia was there. Now here's Carrieri with speed to burn again. He's got nobody to get it to, though. He's going to have to take him on 1v1. Tried to play that one back to Guastafaro, but Milwaukee was there. And now Schmidt telling his guys to settle down.
That's not a bad effort by Chris. Unfortunately, his team was caught in the line change.
Here's Pat White. Dusoski. Off to Revillo. Marked by Guastafaro, and Furugaki clears that one away. Now it's a foot race, and Wasowski gets there first. Well, officially, they're scoring, giving the goal to Sandre Namoski. No matter. Storm doesn't care. Did that one go in? Look how quickly things change. That ball was in and out of the goal so quickly. It was hard to tell, but it's not hard to tell if you're a Wave fan because they're up 4-3.
And again, if I'm Frank Klopas, I'm going over to each and every one of my defenders, and I'm asking them to stand in front of Todd Wasowski. We can't allow him to receive the ball with his back to you and roll you. He's too big. 4-3 Milwaukee.
Well, back and forth, back and forth. Here's the replay. Just a rocket shot to the upper 90. Now we'll see how Chicago responds. Valle puts pressure on there. Namoski pokes that one here to the near side. Pernia plays it to him. And now Leo Pernia gets dumped, and it'll be a restart chance here.
Again, important at this point just to keep possession. There's no reason why we need to go and score the goal 30 seconds from now. Just be patient.
Pernia plays it easily to Alavagna. Namoski back to Leo. They switch the point of attack, and now Laz dumps it into that corner. Valle is there. He has a goal tonight already. Back to Leo Pernia. Storm looking much more veteran than they did. It's long now. Valle there gets thumped against the boards, and they're going to call Valle for the foul.
Yeah, you're right, Ken. Each and every possession, you see Chicago taking their time, connecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passes.
Troy Wasowski unassisted at 9:37 is the tie-breaking goal at the moment. Now here's Mormon. Greenfield sending it here to looking for Burke. Gaston Pernia roughing him up from behind. And now getting it right back as Burke bowled him over, and yeah, Burke's going to get called for the foul, even though Pernia really brought that on himself with a little giving him the business from behind.
That's a good battle there. Kevin Burke's a strong young player playing against an experienced player like Gaston.
Native of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the elder of the two Pernia brothers by a couple of years. Waltman now well out of his goal. That's dangerous. He's got to get back in a hurry because Milwaukee loves to see that goal open at the other end. Under 4 minutes to play now as Greenfield plays it back. And they look for Torres. Can't get through Gaston Pernia, and now Rosenband gets dumped.
It's one thing about Milwaukee, when they lose the ball, they immediately chase it and try to win it back as quickly as possible.
Gaston Pernia dumps it into the corner. There's Carrieri with White on him, and White heads it away, but Stewart now trying to get it out of there. Fell over the ball. Furugaki. Oh, that's going to hurt. Furagaki's he's playing like a guy on a 15-day contract. He's just throwing his body all over the place.
That's what shin guards are for.
And Chicago controls, though. Fudo lines up and smacks one hard, but Dan Green pops over the bar, and now Carrieri taken down, and we're going to have a penalty.
And that'll actually be a penalty kick, and Chris Carrieri taking advantage of Pat White. I think that's a good matchup for Chicago. Again, it goes to Milwaukee's recovery speed. And I think that if there's one thing that, yeah, take a look. Good touch by Chris, and that's a foul by Pat White.
Yeah, White gave the hit check into him, and Carrieri's making things happen tonight. And so here's the deal. Everybody else has to be behind the yellow line as Alvarez will take the PK. With a chance to get the Storm level with 3:16 to play in the first half.
It's critical here. Danny very good with any ball above his shoulders. Look for Alvarez to keep the ball nice and low.
Storm are going to be on the power play. But first, the penalty kick.
I'll tell you, Ken, if you're a Storm fan, you got to love what they're doing right now.
Great.
And Frankie's assembled a good group of guys. You know what? Despite the fact they were down 3-0, still believed in the system, and they find themselves right back in this game looking to tie.
All right, here's Alvarez, and everybody will be crashing from behind him on that board. And Alvarez scores. We're tied at 4.
Great finish.
It's from much closer than an outdoor penalty kick. You've got to drill that thing, and he did. Take a look. Whistle blows, and Alvarez just nails it top shelf.
Clinical. Good finish. 4-4.
Boy, what an exhibition by the guys in white to a show of fortitude to come back and knock this one at 4 with 3:15 to go. And now, see,
Chris Carrieri's furious over something that was said by one of the Milwaukee Wave players, and now he finds himself in the box.
Well, Chris, a terrific player, a terrific scorer, and he's made things happen tonight, but he has a tendency to get a little emotional from time to time, and that one will send him off to think about it for a couple of minutes.
And I'll tell you, that's a shame, because he's one of the few players tonight for us that's really done some damage in the offensive third of the field. We can ill afford to have him in the box. He's going to have to learn to control himself.
All right, so Carrieri's off, and it'll be...
I'll tell you what, if you're Frank Klopas, you're real happy right now. If we could go into a locker room at 4-4, I'll tell you what, had you asked him if he'd like that before the game.
But it's not going to be easy, because they're going to be down a man. And against the team that was the best power play team in the league last year, they hit an even 50%. They were 1 out of 3 on the man advantage against the Storm last Saturday night. If they can weather these next 2 minutes here, they have a very good chance to go in to halftime with a 4-4 tie. Here you see the man advantage for Milwaukee. They've got Howes out there with Torres. This is Howes, the league MVP. It's Stewart, Guastafaro, Long, and Gaston Pernia. Pernia, a great penalty killer.
Chicago defending in a box with Stewart and Guastafaro up top. It's their job to chase the ball side to side.
And there's Howes. Milwaukee looking for an opening.
And they'll just be content on moving the ball, taking advantage of it.
That one skips off of Waltman. Held in now. Minute 10 left in the power play. Here to Howes on the near side. Back out up top to Dusowski. There's Howes.
That's well done.
Well done by Stewart.
Well done by Matty Stewart. I'll tell you what, killing a penalty is very difficult. You got to take away options. Take away options.
They are doing a nice job on the slide. Now back to Howes, who will fire it up. It's got to be cleared away by Pernia. Now Stewart will dump it out there. Well done. 40 seconds left of the penalty. So maybe one more. And now we've got a player down as
Gaston
player. Gaston Pernia is down, and it looks like he's holding his shoulder. Well, in addition to Carrieri's penalty, Chicago's team has been hit with another 2-minute penalty for their 3rd yellow card, and so Kostea Deku is serving that one. But the attention right now is on Gaston Pernia, who now is up.
I'll tell you, if you're head trainer Eddie Gronko, you've got some work tonight.
Yeah.
Another defender.
He's had some of that. He's had a lot of Eddie's had a lot of busy work to do since training camp started. And
now you have Alavania taking his place on the left side of the box. It's one of the most crucial places to be on a man-down situation. Let's see how the rookie responds.
34 ticks left in the penalty. Minute 49 left in the first half. You see the score. We're tied at 4. Now here's Milwaukee with what might be their final opportunity on this power play. Chicago trying to hold on, and that one misses. Howes with a left foot that goes off to the side. Well, they're going to make these last 20 seconds pretty intense, I would think. Dusowski now with Guastafaro on him. Stewart pops it off his chest. It's held in, though. And now cleared away, but only out here to Howes. 6 seconds in the penalty. Ball goes up and off the glass. And Stewart holds his ground. Here's Alvania. They've killed it off. That's a good start. Minute 10 left in the half now. Storm back to even strength as Deku is out of the box.
Fantastic job by the penalty killing unit. You can tell they spent a lot of time on that in practice. I'll tell you one name we haven't mentioned a whole lot is Waltman's, but he's played fantastic today.
Since that opening bit, he's done quite well. Comes up big again. And a call with a rebound. That one went off Burt, and a handball. He did get that one right. Rich Grady with a good call.
Again, I love this guy Waltman in goal. He's fearless, and to be successful indoor in that position, that's what you need.
He's a madman. Well, Frank Lopez just said, you know, I've got two good goalies, and Jeff Ritchie had his chance in the opener. Let's see what Waltman does.
I don't know about that hair, though. Ken. Great goalie, though.
Here's another very good goalie, Dan Green, who the Storm actually had for a bit, got him in the expansion draft, but he didn't want to leave. They ended up trading him back for Ritchie, and now with 32 seconds left, Burke has that one go off his heel. A good defense there by Chicago, and there we see the arm of Waltman. Novi tries to get there, and Green smothers it at the top of the arc.
Novi's going to have to be involved a little bit more. Too casual. Ball's in their defensive third of the field. You have to play a little bit more high pressure.
All right, 10 seconds left as that one goes up and over the glass.
We talked about it in the opening. Novi, being the captain, really going to have to take the burden of leading his team. We're going to need to see some more effort from this guy tonight.
There'll be a kick in over in the corner. Not a corner kick. It would be from that corner kick spot, but it will be effectively like a corner kick, and the Storm have to bat down the hatches here for 10 seconds left, and that one bounces right to Waltman. Now Grady.
Your guess is as good as mine on that one. I don't know.
Futagaki unhappy with it. We've got Milwaukee taking the timeout.
Okay, no foul.
Right.
Well done by Rich Grady.
No timeout. First I thought he'd signal timeout. That's what we call in the Sandlot a do-over.
And we'll take it.
Here's Waltman now with 7 seconds left. He'll use that big arm. That one bounced before the line. 3 seconds now. This should kill the quarter, and it does. Well, after falling well behind, the Storm tie things up on a Byron Alvarez penalty kick. We're coming back with a halftime show from Milwaukee. It's the Wave and the Storm tied at 4.
Bringing home your firstborn. Teaching your child to ride a bike in the neighborhood. Celebrating birthdays and holidays. Each one of these special moments begins at home. As Chicagoland's #1 home seller, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage knows the importance of finding the ideal home for our clients. Our realtors are simply the best in the business and will be with you every step of the way. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage serves every community throughout Chicagoland. Visit ColdwellBankerOnline.com to find an agent near you.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep. Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken.
Take two.
Shit.
Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hi there, Miss Heaton.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Heaton.
35.
These kids realize that before anything great happens, you're going to have to do an awful lot of hard work. And hopefully they'll understand that at the end of that hard work, there is rewards. If you have enough people believing in it, anything's possible.
And now you can take advantage of $3,500 cash back plus $1,500 GMAC bonus cash with GMAC financing on a new Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab.
I predict that they're going to have something special happen to them this year.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, everybody. I'm Ken Tomash. We're at halftime, and the Storm have pulled back into a 4-4 tie with the Wave here in Milwaukee. Now, for some of you, tonight may be the first time you see the indoor game, and you may be saying, hey, I like this stuff. Well, now I want to give you a look at some of what you might see if you come out to the pavilion the rest of the year or watch us here on Comcast Sports Net. Here's a look at what the indoor game is all about, MISL style. Straight to break out of this one.
excitement of the Canadian Football League on Comcast.
It's the Red Zone Body Wash presidential election. Vote November 2nd for your Red Zone Body Wash president. Get clean, smell great all day. And enter now at OldSpice.com for a chance to win a trip to Hawaii.
Michael, I need someone to work late tonight. By the way, you smell really good.
Thank you. Introducing Red Zone Body Wash from Old Spice. The great smell lasts all day.
Yeah, you do smell good.
AMCO Transmissions wants you to know, after 12 months, your transmission fluid can turn old and dirty. Problem is, many shops only replace 4 quarts. That's why there's AMCO's Power Purge. It replaces all 12, and that's better for your transmission.
back to Milwaukee, everybody. Ken Tomash along with David Moxham, and a first half that saw the Storm pull into a 4-4 draw, and shots 14-9 favor Milwaukee. But you have to say, David, at least in the latter stages, especially that second quarter on, the Storm kind of controlled things.
Well, they came out looking like an expansion team for sure, make no mistake about it, but they fought themselves back into the stand very nicely. Chris Carriere being the difference.
Now, you've been in a lot of locker rooms at halftime with Steve Tozer, having played here for 8 years. What's he telling his guys right now?
Well, I can tell you the last 3 years, the focus has been on offensive, the end of the field. And right now, they want to go back to playing Milwaukee Wave soccer, and that's defensively. He's not real happy. They've given up 4 goals after having a 3-goal lead. I can tell you that right now he's barking at the guys in Milwaukee.
Especially against a team, an expansion team playing their second game. Remember last year, Milwaukee went 10-0 against the expansion team, St. Louis and Monterey. The last thing on earth Steve Tozer wants is for Chicago to feel like they can be in this game in the second half.
I can tell you, he does not want this to be a rivalry. The last thing that he wants in the world is for Chicago to come in here opening night when they've raised the banner and beat the Milwaukee Wave.
Well, there's still 30 minutes to go before that happens, but we have seen some good play from the Storm in the first half. They've gotten a goal by Alvarez, a penalty kick late in the first half to tie it up at 4. When we come back, we'll talk with Ted Chronopoulos, the captain of the Storm who's injured. Stay with us on Comcast Sports Net.
Bringing home your firstborn, teaching your child to ride a bike in the neighborhood, celebrating birthdays and holidays. Each one of these special moments begins at home. As Chicagoland's #1 home seller, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage knows the importance of finding the ideal home for our clients. Our realtors are simply the best in the business and will be with you every step of the way. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage serves every community throughout Chicagoland. Visit ColdwellBankerOnline.com to find an agent near you.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep. Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken.
Take 2.
Shit.
Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
When you're done watching the monsters of the Midway lay it all on the line, immediately turn to Comcast Sports Net for US Cellular Bears postgame live. It's the best place to go after the game. Our crew breaks down everything that happened, from kickoff to the final gun. Plus, get instant reaction from players and coaches during their live post-game press conferences. And get a first look at next week's game. US Cellular Bears postgame live. Sundays immediately after every Bears game, only on Comcast Sports Net. Saturday, NIU football plays on Comcast Sports Net. Jack Colby and the Huskies look to continue their quest for a conference title when they square off against Ball State. NIU battles Ball State Saturday at 4. Get your game on Comcast Sports Net.
Chicago Tribune Live is going to have it all. We're going to bring you news and information from the people that are in the know. There's going to be lots of opinions and lively discussion every night.
Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sports Net.
Milwaukee and the Storm and the Wave are tied at 4. I'm Ken Tomash, a guy who would love to be playing in this game tonight, but can't because of a foot injury, is Captain Ted Chronopoulos. Ted, what did you think of the effort by the guys, especially after falling in a hole so early?
I think the effort was there. We kind of fell in the same predicament we did last game, down early. But I think the guys stayed composed and put all 5 guys behind the ball, and we picked up time to go forward and we capitalized on it.
You've played this game long enough. What do you think Frank Lopez told the guys at the break?
I think he just told them to relax. We were down 3 goals and we came back and we're at 4-4, and there's 2 quarters to play. No matter if we go down by a goal or 2, we're always in the game and indoor. And I think the guys need to stay under composure, and I think we did that the first half, and we showed that we're a good team. And I think Milwaukee knows that we're a good team. So they're going to make a run for their money in the second half.
Captain of this team, what do you like about the team that's been put together? What do you like about the makeup and the character of this club so far?
I think there's just so many personalities on this team. It's great. I think Frank's put together a great team, and he's a good coach, and guys listen to him. He's very passionate about the game, and that feeds off onto the players. And I think if we play that passionate the way he coaches passionately, I think we're going to be a very good team.
This Milwaukee team plays very physically. Can you guys match that physical intensity in the second half, do you think?
We're going to have to try. That was all week long. We knew they were going to come out with their home game with their fans and everything. So we knew we were going to come out a little aggressive and they're going to push against the boards. And I think last game they manhandled us pretty well against the boards last game. And I think coming out today, you know, we showed we're not afraid. You know, even though we're an expansion team, you know, we're here to win. You know, and our goal is to win a championship, and, you know, we're starting it right now.
Your injury, will we see you back in 2 weeks or so, do you think?
I hope so. You know, I'm getting therapy every day, and you know, right now we're short defenders. I'm ready to jump out over the field and start playing.
Frank could have used you there for a little bit.
I know. But, no, the guys are doing well. You know, Ryan has moved from midfield to the back, and he's done a great job. And I think we just need to stay organized from front to back, back to front. If we get 5 guys behind the ball and counterattack and pick our chances, that's what we're going to be effective.
All right, come on out and see these guys. Get season tickets. Call 312-226-4625 and join us on Wednesday night when the Cleveland Force is in. Don't go anywhere. Join us for the second half of this one, Ted. Thanks. And we'll see you guys for the second half here with the Storm and the Wave tied at 4 on Comcast Sports Net.
Being a fan of a losing sports team can have unpleasant physical and emotional consequences. Anger, depression.
Losing bites. Winning doesn't. Check out the Chicago Wolves. 10 years, 10 playoffs, 3 championships.
Who do I root for? Let's just say I'm not depressed.
Kick off your Halloween celebration this Saturday night when the Wolves battle the Cincinnati Mighty Ducks at the Allstate Arena. Game time is 7 p.m. Call 1-800-THE-WOLVES.
It's end of the year clearance time at Naperville Mazda, soon to be Chicagoland's premier Mazda Revolution dealership, located in the brand new state-of-the-art Naperville Motors Auto Complex. We put the rev in Mazda Revolution with no payments until January 2005 on all new and used Mazda vehicles and 0% APR financing available. Test drive a new 2005 Mazda today and receive a free car wash. Naperville Mazda on Aurora Avenue, just east of Route 59. We put the rev in Mazda Revolution.
30 minutes down, 30 minutes to go. Could this be the night that this turns into an actual rivalry? Well, the Wave and the Storm are tied at 4 with Chicago having the momentum. Ken Tomash along with David Moxon. David, the Storm actually won that second quarter 3-1.
And that should be their goal going forward. Just win the next 2 quarters. And they've secured a victory, and they've done the impossible, and that's to beat the Milwaukee Wave at home.
Well, Chris Carrieri, who was instrumental in a pair of goals for Chicago in the first half, one that he set up with the assist to Leo Pernia, and another one which he drew a penalty kick that ended up in the fourth goal of the night for Chicago, but he's still off the pitch after getting a dissent penalty. But the Storm will start the second half and move left to right here in the third quarter. Danny Waltman, who played very well in goal in the first half after that opening barrage where Milwaukee scored 3 goals in the first 11 minutes, but really helped them stay in it in that second quarter. He came up big several times.
He certainly did, and he's going to need to do it for the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. Can't get up an early goal.
This will be very important for both sides, as if Chicago can come out and set the tone in the first few minutes, they'll know that they're in the game. And if Milwaukee, I mean, Keith Tozer definitely wants his guys to own this opening few minutes of the third quarter. Here is Milwaukee in the blue. That ball took a crazy bounce and dropped at the feet of Alavanya. And see Deku here, as we see if the Storm will play deliberately, looking for Valle down in the corner. Valle with the socks up over the knees. Now here's back to Gaston Pernia, who's back in the match after taking a knock late on that power play in the second quarter. Here come the Storm again. Tried to get a through ball to Novi. That one just missed, and Green grabs the rebound. And he'll distribute here along the near side. But Jonah Long gets there first. Good intensity so far in the opening 45 seconds by Chicago.
We talked about that M word towards the end of the last half, and that's momentum, and Chicago clearly has it.
And here's Novi trying to poke that one through. Rosenband with the ball at his feet. Oh, and Gosowski snuffed that one out. Too bad because Rosenband put himself in very good position. And now Stewart steals that one away, but he's 1-on-4. And those aren't good numbers for anybody.
And Matthew knows better. He should have just pulled the ball all the way back out, start again.
King gives that one up, and here's Alvarez. Can he finish? No. But he gets the rebound back and just keep hammering away at that wall. And that ball can take some crazy bounces.
I'll tell you, the Milwaukee Wave right now, they look just confused defensively. And I think that's a result of the Chicago Storm and their efforts to stay in this game.
Hey, you think they're a little surprised that they're in a 4-4 game at this point?
I think they're shocked. I think they're absolutely shocked.
Here's Novi, top of the arc. Off to Gaston Pernia. That one bent and went off a defender.
I wouldn't mind to see Frankie use one of his timeouts, and let's see if we can't get a play drawn up and get a goal out of this corner. Execution of these set pieces are really going to determine how Chicago successful they are this year.
Got to track that one back down out of the bowels here of the stadium. Here's Novi sending it across, and again Mormon was there, but Stewart alertly gets the ball back. Sending it across, and nobody there, but Alvarez will tap it back out. Here's Long, who's also shaken up in that first half. He's back out there.
And Milwaukee again just looks confused.
Chicago looks very composed now. Here's Guastafaro. Mormon snuffs that one out, but it'll be held in here by Andy. Does the step over, takes the shot, goes off a defender. Can they hold it in? Here's Alvania. 2 minutes in to the second half. Milwaukee trying to get it out of their own end with Schmidt.
And again, looks like Frankie's decided to change up defensively. Instead of getting 5 behind the ball, looks like they're pressuring, high pressure in Milwaukee's defensive third.
Here's Alvania now. Playing it up to Valle, took a bad touch, and now takes a bad spill. And King's going to be sent off. And so things get better for the Storm, as not only do they own the first couple of minutes, but they're going to get a power play opportunity out of the deal.
I think Milwaukee thought this game was over at 3-0, and they were mistaken. Right now, this is a frustrated side, and Chicago's done a fantastic job keeping their composure and maintaining possession of the ball right here.
So Michael King sent off, and here we see the Storm power play for the first time tonight.
Need to convert here.
If they were 0 for 1 on the power play last Saturday's game. There's a big shot and off the glass. Held in, though. Carrieri, who's off the penalty bench.
And Novi knows better. Just be patient. Work the ball around. Move Milwaukee side to side. Wait for the good shot.
Minute 36 left in the power play. Here's Novi to Alvania. Got 3 offensive players and 2 defenders out there. Carrieri just itching for a chance. He's open back door, and they can't get him the ball. Back out to Novi. Novi's there's Carrieri, and he flubs it. Oh, Chris would love to have that one back. Alvania goes down.
Alvania got lucky there, but we'll take it, and this is going to be another good opportunity inside Milwaukee's defensive circle. Just pull the ball back out to Novi. No reason to take a shot here. Pull the ball back out, and let's get our power play started again.
There we go. Minute 10 left in the power play. Here's Novi. Fakes the shot, gets it on right wing. It's Alvania with a big shot off the glass. Held in by Deku. Tap it back out. Everything's going to run through Marievich. In the yellow line. Fakes the shot. Here's Deku with a big shot. That one went off a car, I believe. Valle was camped out there trying to put it home. 50 seconds left.
Lots of time. 50 seconds. Lots of time. Be patient.
Deku slides it here to Alvania.
Alvania needs to be a little bit deeper to set up for that right-footed shot. He's too far inside the yellow line. A little deeper, set up for the shot.
30 seconds now. Alvania winds up, and that one bounces around and off the noggin of White. Alvania holds it in again, trying to get it up. Schmidt's trying to clear it out of there, and Alvania gives it to him. A good call of the foul there. And so with 19 seconds left, Frank Copas will get some fresh legs into the power play, but Milwaukee has the restart, so it's going to be tough. They're going to have to get the ball back. And now another 2-minute penalty being called?
Well, it looks like the third referee is yet just cautioning, and actually there's going to be too many men.
Second illegal substitution penalty on Chicago. I think Mormon alertly knew when he was ready to start that play again and caught Chicago.
You know what? I'm not so sure, to be quite honest with you. Again, it's one of those plays where shade of gray there for sure.
Well, we're 4 on 4 for the next 19 seconds as Devote will serve the penalty. It's a bench penalty for Chicago. Kodagaki comes off. And I guess Don Pernia is telling his guys to drop back to play 4 on 4, and then Milwaukee will try here to break the 4-all tie. But they're content first to kill off the 4 on 4. Barrow tried to get that
Chicago has imposed their will on the Milwaukee Wave right now. They've taken them out of their comfort zone. Milwaukee looks lost.
Well, now the Wave on the power play for the next minute and a half after the illegal substitution. There's Desofsky with a shot that goes off a defender. That went off Jonah Long, and Rosenband rather clears that one. Well, if the Storm can kill this off as they killed off the first penalty situation, it'd be another huge lift for them. Desofsky to Howes. Howes with a shot. That one went through Waltman's hands but went off the wall.
You notice Desofsky and Howes on the outside setting up for the shot, playing much deeper, hitting the ball one time.
Good defense there by Guastafaro. Troy Desofsky back up to Todd Desofsky. 45 seconds left as Guastafaro makes another good defensive play and now has to get back quickly. Desofsky with a shot, and Pernia gets it. The shot, and that goes into the back of the net. A power play goal lifts Milwaukee to a 5-4 lead, and it's Greg Howes.
And that's unfortunate. Chicago did a good job offensively on their power play, and for the first 30 seconds of the penalty kill did well. But again, bit undisciplined. Milwaukee's 5-4.
Unlucky there to get caught in the illegal substitution that snuffs their power play. Then they give up the goal, but for Howes, he's been doing that to a lot of folks. This is his 155th career indoor game and his 155th career indoor goal.
I remember Howes as a rookie with the Milwaukee Wave. Never did we think he was going to be the player that he is today.
Well, the Storm have come back before. Can they do it again? Carrieri is back in. That one not long, and that'll bounce over Rosenband's head. That high glass back there kept that one in. Now here's Alvania taking a shoulder from Nino Marcantonio. Now pressure put on by Chicago as that one's lifted here into the stands here at the US Cellular Arena, downtown Milwaukee, where the Wave practically unbeatable over the years.
Well, you know what? I think there was this Bradley Center mystique a couple of years ago, but since they've been in this building, I don't think the teams are afraid to come in here and win. You know, Milwaukee should win. They're at home, but they're beatable here. Chicago needs to answer back.
Here's take two. Restart from the top of the arc. Drilled it right off the wall and tried to put the rebound back. Now here's Alvania scores! And again, Chicago comes back. It's 5-all.
And I'll tell you, at this point, Frankie Klopas looks like a genius because Waltman has outplayed Dan Green tonight. And that's the difference in this ball game thus far. KQ, I thought Ken made a mistake by cracking that ball into the wall, but Alvania with a nice finish, and it's 5-5.
Only his second indoor game, and he gets the goal. A key member of Indiana University's 1998 national championship team, and has played some outdoors, played in MLS. Been a stalwart at the back through a game and a half for the Storm, but that time he gets the goal. It's 5-5. And now we'll see what Milwaukee does. Howes with Pernia trying to hold him off. I'll tell you what, Greg Howes, I think Greg Howes has had some dates in his life without that much contact. And now we've got maybe the makings of a rivalry here as we see our first kind of pushing and shoving as Pernia takes exception to Howes pushing back at him.
I love it. I love it.
This is what builds rivalries.
This is a rivalry right now in proximity only. We need more of this. There needs to be a dislike and a hatred almost for these two teams. And I'll tell you, if Chicago can't keep playing like this, there will be one.
Yeah, it'll start sooner than anybody thought. Yeah, second of 8 meetings. The Storm are going to come back up here 3 more times. We'll have one of those games for you here on Comcast Sports Net on New Year's Eve in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. Let's see what happens here with 8:49 to play in the third. Shot off the wall, and they whipped, and Sasaki puts that one home. Just like that, it's 6-5.
And now Troy's talking some smack to Gaston. It's happening. Gaston firing the ball down on the ground. He may get actually misconduct for that. But that's unfortunate. Gaston letting his emotions get the best of him. Inopportune foul, wrong part of the field. Milwaukee Red takes advantage.
And it's Troy Sasaki who gets the goal. Take a look at it again. Off the restart. Oh, Waltman had come and got near post. And Sasaki puts it home to the open net.
Again, as we talked about before, in those situations, it's important for everybody on the field to know who you have defensively.
And now Howes has been sent off. And, boy, Rich Grady and the guys in red are getting a workout tonight.
They're busy.
Looks like Leo Pernia is going to be sent off a misconduct call on Leo Pernia.
And into the Chicago Storm right now, again, your best players are finding themselves in the box. Leo Pernia, I think, a little disappointed in his defensive mark inside the box, but got his frustration on the referee.
Well, Howes is off as well.
Can't let the game get away from them right now. They're right in it. 6'5", play physical, but don't do anything stupid to find yourself in the box.
Well, we're 5-on-5 as, again, misconduct penalties do not result in a power play, but Leo Pernia and Greg Howes are both going to sit this one out for a little bit. And if you're Chicago, you kind of like that trade, I would think, because anything that takes Howes out of play for the next 5 minutes is good for you.
I would agree with you. I would absolutely agree with you.
Here's Dan Green now. Up to Schmidt. There's King on that side, and again, Gaston getting a little too physical there. He's got to really be careful because the guys in red are watching him quite closely. Thomas lost that one, now tries to get it back and fouled.
Game's starting to get real chippy. I think you're right, Ken. Both teams need to be careful because Grady's looking to send somebody else in the box.
Keith Tozer, you don't like this turn of events even though your team is up 6-5. By this point, they expected it to be not quite so tight. We've still got 8:16 to play in the third as Gaston puts the left foot to it down here in the corner. That'll bounce to Green right at the edge of the area. Now play it with the feet to Mormon. Pressure put on by Stewart. Green looking for somebody to play it to. Finds Thomas. The game kind of slowed to a crawl after some frenetic pace there for a while.
I'm tired.
Yeah, you can't keep that pace up forever.
Yeah, I can't either.
Here's Oliviero on for his first shift. He's just joined the team officially this week after getting some visa problems sorted out. Now here's Matthew Stewart with the ball at his feet, and his feet and everything else on the turf as he's tripped up, but Burke goes down holding the ankle.
And Gaston's going to the box. And again, that's 3 consecutive fouls on Gaston. It was only a matter of time before Rich was going to send him in the box. And he's an experienced player, and you know, he and I actually play a lot alike. When I played a lot like Gaston. I like to get physical, but at the same time, you got to keep in mind that you're being watched by 3 guys in red.
7:26, the time of the penalty. The Storm will be shorthanded again as the Pernia brothers are both in the box. Leo with a 5-minute misconduct and Gaston with a tripping penalty. Milwaukee scored on their last power play.
It's given Milwaukee some life here, and it also allows them to take advantage of the clock a little bit. For Milwaukee to keep the ball as much as possible and look for the right shot.
Now big chance for Chicago here. They desperately need to kill this one off, not only to keep Milwaukee from going up 2 goals, but I think to send a statement to say, hey, we're still here. Oliviero. 7:26, the time of the penalty. Here's Jasowski, and that one right at Waltman. Sends that one long. That's good distribution because that'll kill a few precious seconds off. Just 15 seconds into Milwaukee's power play.
This type of situation is so important for the Storm to see how competitive they're going to be this season.
King tried to get his head on that one. He couldn't. Mormon holds it in. Here's Oliviero. Got Torres over on that side now. They try to poke it back on the give and go, and he just missed. Pisowski heads it towards the goal, and Waltman there with gold chain dangling. Stewart stays upright despite the slide tackle by Mormon. Nice move by Stewart. Short-handed, but King got left in his wake, and Green came out and had to play it with the feet because he was outside the box.
Well done by Matthew Stewart. Kind of confused as to why Giuliano Oliviero is running the power play. He's been on the bench the whole time. Why isn't Todd Pisowski in there right now?
Well, a minute left. But as we've seen, a power play isn't over until it's absolutely over. Here's Mormon sizing up a shot, scoring. 7-5 Milwaukee, another power play goal, and that one was a bullet.
Great finish by Chris Mormon. Again, those are the differences on the power plays. Milwaukee getting good chances from their outside. 7-5 Milwaukee Wave.
Well, the Storm have come back several times tonight. Can they do it again? We'll find out when we return to the US Cellular Arena. Milwaukee's gone up 7-5. But stick around. There's more goals to come on Chicago Storm Soccer on Comcast.
It was about being a part of the team. That's what made it special to the people of Chicago, because we did everything they wanted us to do. We played brutal defense, we got after you in offense, and we won games. Chevy has identified themselves with great winners.
And right now, come into your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and get $3,000 cash back plus $1,500 GMAC bonus cash on select 04 Colorado models with GMAC financing.
Chicago fans, the greatest.
Hey, Vinny.
Oh, hi there, Miss Eden.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Eden.
35.
Back in Milwaukee, David Moxon, take us through this one.
Well, you talk about your penalty-killing unit. Milwaukee did a good job of stretching out that box, as I talked about before. Laid the ball into Chris Mormon's path, and he finishes it.
Drilled it into the corner. Take a look here, this one from top camera. He just...
And again, Giuliano did a good job of taking the defense left, cutting it back to Chris Mormon, and he's a good finisher from the right side.
Well, Chicago's been down several times tonight and has battled back each time. Can they do it again? Here's Alvania. He'll stay at Deku. 6:15 to play in the third. We're back to 5-on-5 as Alvarez is tripped up. And 5-on-5 only for a couple seconds as we're going to have yet another penalty. It looks like Joe Hamas is going to be sent off. And Hamas is going to plead his case, but he's going to be doing it on his way to the penalty box because he's going to sit down for 2.
And that's fortunate for the Chicago Storm because Milwaukee had regained the momentum. And I'll tell you, that's one of the reasons why Joe hasn't found himself on a regular shift, because defensively he makes mistakes at crucial points. Now, this is a great opportunity for Novi again, wearing that armband to assert himself on this power play.
There you see it. Hamas gets up, doesn't agree with the call, but Rich Grady say, name go in book.
Again, Deku and Alavanya, they need to deepen up. They need to put themselves in a position to shoot the ball one time. Again, open up your body.
Here's Alvania. He's out there with Novi, Deku.
Chris Carrieri wants that ball down low.
He keeps just buzzing around down there. Can Valle get it to him? Bad touch there by Deku. He's going to have to fight to get that ball back. Novi luckily does and touches it nicely, but he'll play it back to Waldman.
Again, Ken, the differences in the power play. Chicago's inability to get shots from the outside is going to hurt them. They need to make the adjustment or get the ball low to Chris Carrieri.
Yeah, Carrieri has been alone, left alone at that back post. It's just a matter of can they get him the ball. Not that time. A minute left in the power play. As Schmidt tries to clear, Valle tries to introduce him to the board and does.
And you know what, to be quite honest with you, the penalty killing in the power play is going to get better. as the season goes on. That's one area of the game that, you know, you can't practice everything as an expansion team.
Well, Vanya takes a tumble, but that looked worse than it was, apparently. And here comes Chicago again with 49 seconds left in the power play. They're down 7-5. They're trying to get back within one. Alvanya, Novi, Deku. There's Carrieri with a rare touch. Novi with his shot goes off Akav. Valle tries to head that one toward the goal. Akav tried to bike it out of there. Doesn't get much elevation on that bike. Here's Novi now. 22 ticks left in the power play. Down to Carrieri. Off the glass. Deku comes on it and will put it all the way up here in the 400 level.
And that's what you want. A good job of getting the ball down low to Chris Carrieri. Ball caroms off the boards. Deku distance to get the ball on target. Much better. And to Milwaukee's credit, they have a penalty killing unit with 4 guys who plays for the futsal team, national team. So that's an experienced squad.
Yeah, speaking of which, Andy Guastafaro, one of 13 active MISL players that Keith Tozer will be taking to Chinese Taipei next month for the Futsal World Cup. He'll take 4 of his own Milwaukee players, which means that when these 2 teams meet in Chicago on the 26th of November, there's going to be some guys missing, including Tozer himself, who's coaching the team. The first things first, 4:11 to go in the third. Milwaukee up 7-5 with a restart, and Hamasser's out of the box. Now here is Mormon. Try to play it up there. There's King turning. There's a bike attempt, goes off the glass. Reveal looking to make the highlight reel. Here's Rosenband in a foot race with Desoski. Desoski gets there first, and boy, if anybody had been sitting in that seat, that would have been an unwanted souvenir. They'd have been taking home a Rocket Red because they'd had to get them home before they could get out of the chest.
3 minutes and 47 seconds left in the third period. Let's see if we can't get a goal or generate some chances here.
Important for the Storm here to finish strong in the third if they're going to be in it in the fourth. Rosenband misses connections there, and they leave it for Green. Distributes to Mormon.
And now if I know Keith Tozer, and I do know Keith Tozer, he's telling these guys, spread the ball out. Look for the ball to go in deep and then swung back out.
There's Burke, who has long all over him.
And he'll bring it all the way back out in an attempt to draw the Chicago Storm out. All the way back to Dan Green. And they'll just be patient.
Troy Desoski. Pat White. Now here comes Milwaukee as they move it up. Burke trying to spin on his man and launches that one up. Well, Blong got a piece of that. Apparently he did.
And again, we keep talking about it. The defenders will get better, but again, when the ball's in Dan Green and then he has the ball at his feet, you got to get in front of Kevin Burke. You have to get in front of Todd Desoski. You can't play him behind him.
Here's where the experience of a Ted Chronopoulos would really help, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we hope to have him back. We talked to him at halftime. We hope to have him back in a couple of weeks. 3 minutes to go in the third, and Milwaukee off the restart. Here's Howes. Back after a misconduct penalty earlier.
And they'll bring the ball all the way back out again.
Now time in their favor. But it's only a 2-goal deficit, so Chicago doesn't have to press just yet. Here's House trying to spin on Guastafaro and putting that one up into the seats. And it went off Guastafaro.
One of the things that Keith preaches to the guys is, you know what, we need to go on a run, and that's what Milwaukee's looking to do right now. Milwaukee wants to pull away from Chicago. This is a real important stand here.
2:39 to play in the third. Desoski runs on that one and will be cleared. Namoski tried to clear it out for Chicago. Alvanya over in that corner with Oliviero. Now here's Alvarez. Alvarez. Ball pops free. Surveys it. Now plays it here to Namoski. Good work by Chicago to settle it down. Alvarez comes off and Valle's on. Here's Alvanya. Looking for Valle and finds him a little too long for him. Desoski will shield him off the ball and take him down in the area. Green with a loose ball with 2:06 to play in the third. Keith Tozer's guys just have not been able to put Chicago away yet tonight. House heads that one down. Leo Pernia is there. to clear. Carrieri tracks back. Alvagna making good use of the wall to pop it out to Carrieri. Here's Chris. Great save by Dan Green. Nice shot, though, by Carrieri. Leo Pernia holds it in and gets spun down by Mark Antonio, and just a foul, though.
Great speed by Chris Carrieri and a good chance. I think he missed Jorge on the far post, but he did well with the ball that he had.
Yeah, Green had to make a terrific one-handed save to keep that one out of the net. Take a look at the replay again. From field level, as you see Carrieri just wailing on it with the left leg. There's a ball in front, they score! Valle puts home the loose ball, and Dan Green can't believe it. We'll see that here in a second on the replay as the Storm have pulled within 7-6. Take a look at Valle now, number 9. Here's Pernia down here in that corner. Valle will bring you that here in a second, but with 1:35 to go, the Storm have answered back, and it's 7-6. 13-15, the time of that goal. Valle gets his second of the night, and this Chicago team just won't go away.
Just a fantastic effort by Valle. That's the second goal he scored tonight on the back post.
Here's a call now. It's Milwaukee with 1:20 to go. Here's the goal. In front, Valle just poaching a goal. Calling the Eggman. He just poached that one. And sometimes that's where you have to be. You have to be in good position in this indoor game because the ball will take funny bounces, and that time he was right there, right place, right time. Now we're back to live action with 1:10 to play in the third. The Storm have pulled within 7-6. Here's Waltman dangerously out of his area. Plays it up to Byron Alvarez. Alvarez does a little skip and a jump, trying to get away from Burke, but he can't get away from him that time. Burke's going to be nailed for the foul, and Chicago gets the restart with a minute left.
I can't say enough about Waltman. I can't say enough about him.
This is indoor, folks. When you give up 7 goals in a game as a keeper, and the color guy raves about how well you played, that's how this game is different from the outdoor game you may be used to.
Well, he doesn't play like a rookie. He's comfortable with the ball at his feet. He makes good decisions. Outside of the first 3 minutes of the game, he's not done anything to hurt the team.
Yeah, he's been a great pickup from the Seattle Sounders of the A-League. Now here's Alvagna, who has a goal tonight as well. Knocks that one back to Deku in the center circle. 40 seconds left in the third. Alvarez now sends it around, wraps around, and Green has to tiptoe on that line to stay in the area now.
Now it's important to get 5 behind the ball. Now's not the time to pressure. Let Milwaukee keep it. Get 5 behind the ball.
Here's Alvagna with a steal. Sends it across, and Valle, can he put home the rebound? That one goes off. Green it in. We're tied at 7. Well, Valle may get credit for that one, but he definitely gets high marks for the...
Well, I'll tell you, Alvagna made a liar out of me. Here I am saying get 5 behind the ball, but he decides to high pressure instead, creates a great loose ball situation, and Valle, that's a hat trick. And 3 of the most unorthodox goals I've ever seen.
Take a look again. What really made it happen is, well, he stayed with it, which is good, and you just keep firing it up there. The flip by Valle is good, but what really made it happen was Alvagna's steal, alertly to get in there and get it. Now,
well,
here's Valle again.
We missed it, but you're exactly right, Ken. Alvagna did a great job of creating some havoc in the defensive third of the field.
14 seconds left now. Storm have come back again. It's 7-all. With Howes. 5 seconds. Futagaki tackles it away. Good way to end the third. The Storm have come back with a pair of goals late. We're going to the final 15 minutes in Milwaukee. It's Chicago 7, Milwaukee 7. Stay with us for the fourth quarter. This is Chicago Storm Soccer on Comcast Sports Net.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep. Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken.
Take 2.
Sorry. Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
Bringing home your firstborn. Teaching your child to ride a bike in the neighborhood. Celebrating birthdays and holidays. Each one of these special moments begins at home. As Chicagoland's #1 home seller, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage knows the importance of finding the ideal home for our clients. Our realtors are simply the best in the business and will be with you every step of the way. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage serves every community throughout Chicagoland. Visit ColdwellBankerOnline.com to find an agent near you.
Hey, Vinny. Oh, hi there, Miss Eden.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Eden.
35.
I really believed that no matter what I was asked to do, if I did it harder than anybody else, sooner or later that I would be recognized for it. Hard working. You want an honest, hard day's work for an honest dollar. That's what Chevy gives you.
Now get $4,500 cash back and $500 football bonus cash for $5,000 total cash back on a new 04 Trailblazer. Plus, get an extra $1,500 bonus cash with GMAC financing.
What makes me a Chevy guy is pretty simple. It's about getting the job done.
For those times when life's little to-do list gets you down, it's nice to know Blaine's Farm and Fleet is there to help. Right now, get the Walls Hooded Blizzard-Proof Insulated Duck Jacket, $49.99. Pick up the men's Northerner Max Waterproof Boot, $15.99. And we have the men's Work and Sport Wedge Sole Work Boot, $59.99. The work and play experts, Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Farm and Fleet.
Dad?
Did you feel that?
It's here again.
Don't panic. Okay, let's panic.
Shut the front door.
Gigantic phone bill? Comcast Digital Phone can save you money with the right package to fit your needs, and you can even keep your current number.
They can't see us if we don't move.
Join the million-plus customers who save with Comcast Digital Phone.
Back at US Cellular Arena, the Storm have pulled back into a draw at 7-all. If you like this, and how could you not, join us Wednesday night, November 3rd, 7 o'clock, UIC Pavilion. The Cleveland Force are in town for their first trip. Get tickets by calling 312-226-GOAL, 312-226-4625. Check out chicagostorm.net for all the information, not only on tickets, but on merchandise and everything else. Why not bring a group to the game? Storm soccer, much more fun with a group. Call that same number and find out how to get your school group, your team especially, out to watch these guys play. And if it's anything like it's tonight, it's going to be a wild ride. We're just underway in the fourth quarter of play. Ken Tomash, David Moxon with you from Milwaukee as the Storm have come back time and again. They've tied it again at 7. And Mormon off the restart just put it right off the ankles of Alvanya, who's could be man of the match tonight. Slide there by Jasowski, but Namoski plays it off to Deku, just misses. Pernia on there on the spot, try to bring that one home.
And now do the same thing, bring the ball all the way back out to Waltman. Let the Milwaukee Wave change. The pressure is on them now. That's good. Pull the ball all the way back out.
Here's Carrieri. Nice turn. He'll look for the return ball, but Mormon is there first. They'll head that one back to Green. Green with a big throw, looking for Torres. Long on him. And Pernia tries to dig that one out, but it's Jonathan Greenfield for Milwaukee. And Aka will play it back to Green. Time remaining, you see, is in the fourth quarter. We do have overtime in this league. We'll play till somebody scores and gets a winner. We may not be done with the scoring here tonight by any stretch of the imagination. We've got 13:30 to play, and these teams don't show any sign as if they're done scoring. Now here's Matthew Stewart just off the bench. He's 1-on-4 though at the yellow line. He'll take the shot anyway, and Green jumps on the bouncing ball.
And I think Matthew, you know, again, recognizing he doesn't have the numbers, pull the ball back out. Let's be patient. It's 7-7, right where we want to be. Be patient and keep it. Now we're defending again.
There's Novi stepping in on that one, and then getting the worst of that encounter with Nino Marcantonio. Alvanya will restart it. Boy, Alvanya looks like he's played indoor his whole life, doesn't he? This is only his second game. He's very comfortable out there.
You could say that for a lot of these guys. Frank has done a good job. They're playing disciplined. and they're playing with high energy.
Even after as frantic a game as this has been for the first 47 minutes plus.
Welcome to the MISL.
Exactly. You have to do this 40 times a year. Here's Deku. This is just game number 2. Looking for Rosenband, but Green is there to grab that one out of the air. Thomas was keeping Rosenband from getting ahead on that ball. Now here's Mormon.
I never thought I'd say this, but right now Chicago is really dictating the pace in the Milwaukee's home building.
Well, Mormon
the handball
may have gotten away with a handball there, and now he's down holding his right ankle as Nomoski has it. Mormon is down behind the play, trying to stop it. And now Rosenband takes a tumble, pops right back up. Battling in that corner, playing it out to Guastafaro, and now Guastafaro says, go take a look there at Mormon for the injured player. And at first it looked like he just was grabbing the shin of the right ankle, and then it was a hip, and then he went down. All right, 11:54 to play. You think the Storm guys are buying into this here? They really believe now, don't they?
Well, I'll tell you, I was in the locker room before the game talking to some of the guys in Milwaukee. The last thing they wanted is to be 7-7 with 11:54 left. This is a ball game.
When we come back, we'll have the rest of this ball game. Time out on the floor on Comcast Sports Net.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep.
Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken.
Take 2.
Shit. Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
Hey, Vinny. Oh, hi there, Miss Eden. Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
On aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Eden.
35.
Back in Milwaukee, you want to look your best as a Storm fan. Get some stuff from the Storm shop at www.chicagostorm.net. Get t-shirts, the inaugural season scarf, and all sorts of good gear to wear Wednesday night at the Pavilion when these guys return home to face Cleveland. chicagostorm.net. Here's the Storm now looking to put one in the net, but Dan Green grabs that one first.
And again, right now the pressure is on Dan Green and the Milwaukee Wave. They have to press. They have to score. Chicago should just get 5 behind the ball as they're doing and be patient.
And no mistakes. Chicago has to be very careful. They've been able to get away with some mistakes tonight where they've not only had guys sent off and given up power play goals, they've had a couple of defensive miscues, and they're still in the game. But from here on out, everything gets magnified because every goal from here on out could be the one that wins it.
And we talked about mistakes. Sean errantly played the ball out of bounds, giving Milwaukee the ball at the top of the box. Huge play right here. Left footer and Troy Desowski, right footer and Greg House.
Here's Oliviero. Doing more dances than anything else. Waltman takes that one off the chest and then has to take it off a teammate's boot. Valle to cover it up. Kabir's out there, and Pernia with a high boot.
That's an okay foul. I'll tell you, a lot was made of the Jeff Ritchie, Dan Green deal, right? But the name that never got mentioned was this Waltman guy, and I think he's a steal.
Yeah. Well, Frank Lopez had a lot of keepers in camp, but liked what he saw from this young man, his brazen attitude, his willingness to just take balls fired at him and come right back at you, and that's what he's done tonight. He's kept his team in this game. Tied at 7 now, under 11 minutes to play as Rosenband fights Desowski for that one. Oh, and there's a miscue. Waltman's going to have to be huge here. He does make the stop. King saying he was out of the box, but no call. Here's Novi now. Again a giveaway. Waltman's going to have to be big again. King tries to play it off the wall to himself. Pernia there. And Hamas battling for it. Here's Torres now. 2 guys on him. Plays it off the wall. And there's Futagaki. Seen a lot of action in his first game in a Storm uniform.
Chicago needs a change. not a good time to change right now with Milwaukee.
Well, luckily they caught Milwaukee doing the same thing, and Aka, who's not going to be the point guard on anybody's team anytime soon, has to back it out. Now here we go. Both teams have reset, and Marcantonio is spun down by Deku, who had him around the neck.
And this is going to be the difference. Right now, this is going to be the difference. Set pieces in the offensive end of the field. This could be the difference in the game. Need to be disciplined in the defensive end.
Here's Marcantonio, pushes it out. Howes with a shot, a dive by Waltman. The shot goes just wide. 10 minutes to play in regulation, tied at 7 from Milwaukee. Tim Tomash, David Moxon with you. First of at least 7 Storm broadcasts on Comcast Sports Net, and we could not have asked for a better one. Here's the Storm. Alvarez looking to put that one home and can't. Namoski just misses on the open net. Boy, those things are going to happen too. Not only are you going to get weird goals, but you're going to have ones that you come oh so close on.
That's one Sanjay wants back. And that's the difference. I think that eventually Chicago's going to be in the situation where Sanjay will hammer that. But that could be a difference in the game.
Here's Green now distributing. Not quite midway through the fourth yet. Here's to Mormon, to Schmidt, to Hamas. Tackled away from him by Valle. Schmidt holds it on. Schmidt working on a streak of 141 straight games between indoor and outdoor. He's been going indoor, outdoor, back and forth for the last 2 years. That's hard to do. Now here's Mormon. Fresh legs off the bench. Mormon with a shot goes off Jonah Long's ankle and over to that corner. Rosenband will try to clear. Nicely done. Rosenband and Namoski. Rosenband. Back out to Guastafaro. Now here's Rosenband really making his presence felt. Here's Carrieri now. Carrieri 1-on-4. Milwaukee caught with nobody at the offensive end because they were all collapsing on Carrieri.
The play's starting to get sloppy on both ends. I think this game has been so frenetic. The fatigue is starting to set in. So Chicago, again, just needs to weather the storm.
Here's Alavagna. Anything can happen in these last 8.5 minutes. Alvarez looks to give his team the lead. Carrieri tried to hold it in, but it's cleared away by Milwaukee.
Nice decision by Deku. Keep possession of the ball. Again, Milwaukee has to win it back. Keep possession.
That one skipped past Carrieri. And to Green. It'll pop back out. And Aka has it.
Again, Chicago looking to take their first lead of the game. Good job by keeping the game close so far.
Under 8 minutes to play now. Now things have settled down here. Nearly impossible to go at that breakneck pace for 60 minutes. You'll see it in spurts, but every now and then you've got to take a breather. Here's Greenfield now, just inside the yellow line. Good marking there by Pernia, who made sure he couldn't do anything with it. And we've seen Leo, but we haven't seen Gaston, I don't think at all, since he had the penalty and was sent off. Now here's Rosenband. Has to stop for a second. He's got Novi in front of him. Novi camped out in front, but Hamas clears for Milwaukee. And now quickly on the counterattack. Long on King in that corner. Muragaki came in to try to help out. King tried to play it large, and here could come on the counter. Here's Stewart. Does not have numbers, and wisely, there you go.
Pull the ball back out. And you know what, I'll tell you, if it's one weak point Milwaukee has, it's their lack of team speed. I've tried to make this point over and over tonight. And Chicago doing a good job of countering attack. Counter.
Stewart now. Storm works deliberately, very patiently. Every minute that goes by gets them closer to what could be their first win of the season, and it would be a sweet one. Here's Green. Up to Howes, but a lot of time left in this one. 6.5 minutes as that one skips past Deku. White has a dangerous situation. Nice tackle by Stewart.
Way to sacrifice your body, Matthew Stewart. Perfect block in the right situation. Prevented a goal there.
Here's Howes. Aka. Now's a Again, Nomoski on him, there was the give and go. There was the give, and the return was not happening. Torres now stumbles over the ball for a second. Now we've got a foul.
Well, you know what? Fouls in that area of the pitch aren't going to hurt you. You know, that's a foul that you're willing to give. You can regroup. You can get back defensively.
Sonvalle, here's Torres trying to move around Nomoski. Nomoski trips him up. It will not be a card, but it will be a dangerous free kick situation there.
And Chicago needs to regroup. Where's your defensive responsibility? Everybody find a guy. Like Matthew Stewart a couple plays before, you're going to need to sacrifice your body on the block.
Waltman as Futagaki, normally a midfielder, is pressed into service at the back at his far post, and Waltman gets a finger on that one and knocks it up into the seats.
Nice little ball fake by Johnny Torres to collapse the wall, and then a good shot, good save by Waltman. This is dangerous. Ball's been in our end a whole lot this half. Set piece after set piece, you'd have to think that eventually Milwaukee's going to score.
Chicago does not want to see as the time grows short on the scoreboard, 5:49. Oliviero off the corner. Pushes it to House, a weak left footer, and Waltman grabs that one. Now we'll see the quick distribution. Puts it to Nomoski, but Jasowski got back there in a hurry. And now here's Guastafaro putting pressure on Green, and a two-line pass. See, the pressure put on by Guastafaro forces Green into the two-line pass, and now it comes back. Excellent situation for Chicago.
And that's one of the reasons why there's a goalkeeping controversy in Milwaukee. Danny Green is an experienced goaltender. Can't make those mistakes.
And Borberg was keeper of the week, played great last week.
And a good timeout.
Timeout for Chicago with 5:37 to play. We'll stay here and see what Chicago has to do now to regroup. I think Chicago, obviously Frank Klopas wanted this timeout to tell his guys, okay, here's what we're going to do the last 5.5 minutes. What do you think?
I agree with you, but I also think he sees that his team's a bit fatigued. He wants to calm everybody down, settle everyone, let them know that, you know what, you're doing a great job. Let's devise a plan here on this set piece, but I think he wants everyone to just take a breath, let's relax, and let's come up with something that works.
Be sure to visit chicagostorm.net. You can get gear from the Storm shop, but you can also find out everything you want to know about this team, player bios, buy stuff. You can also listen to every game as our webcast will be on the air Wednesday night when the Cleveland Force comes to the UIC Pavilion, 7 o'clock Central Time. So if you can't get out to the Pavilion, we hope you will, get tickets by calling 312-226-4625. Listen to us online all season long, and be sure to join us here on Comcast Sports Net for a season-long series of games, hopefully all as exciting as this one. With 5.5 minutes to play, the Storm have battled back, tied at 7.
Last opportunity Deku had at the top of the box. He drilled one into the wall. Let's see if he can't find Chris Carrieri.
Carrieri on that right wing. Deku to Alvania. Shot saved by Green. The rebound by Deku goes off a defender. Boy, as much as Dan Green has made some mistakes tonight, he's come up huge a few times as well.
Well, he wasn't 18-3 last year for nothing, but it's those mistakes that kill him.
And when you got a guy like Borberg pushing you.
That's right.
I mean,
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Pernia off the restart. Here's Deku, shot. Green has it, and on the doorstep, Rosenband was looking for the goal. Couldn't get it. Under 5.5 to play now. A reminder, if we stay tied, we're going to play. There'll be a winner here tonight, folks. Pernia leaps up and heads that one with aggression. Mormon will hold it in here in the crease. Talavagna on him. Jasowski knocks it long with that left foot. And Leo Pernia, the only guy there. Off the wall, Futagaki takes a spill. Pops out to Carrieri. Again, the Storm working deliberately. Here's Futagaki. Wearing 33, normally wanted 3, but Ted Chronopoulos has that number, so he said, I'll take 33, and he's filled in admirably tonight for the captain. Here's Jonah Long now. Back out to Deku. Chips it here to Long. Burke on him in the corner. Long and Burke battle for it. Chicago retains possession. Here's Novi. Over the head of Alvarez, and Alvarez tied up there with Jasowski, and they'll call Alvarez for the foul.
I could have gone either way. But let's get behind the ball and defend. I'll tell you, I've been on a bunch of good teams, Ken. First ingredient you need to be a champion is heart. And this Chicago Storm team has that in spades.
We've seen it tonight. 4:20 to play now. And a crowd here at US Cellular Arena saying, let's go Wave, getting behind this team that was a league finalist for the 5th straight year last year. Torres now to Burke.
And no fouls in the defensive end. No fouls. Just make the ball go back.
We're at 4 minutes to play now. As Burke, Long does not want to let him spin. Ball comes off, and that could have been a goal there for Torres or somebody on the goal. Now here's Deku on the counter. He's got Novi on right wing, but I don't think he can get it to him because Aka's going to trip him up.
And I'll tell you, Loveless Aka is very lucky that he's not sitting in the box right now.
Slide tackled that one and then was prone already when...
I'll tell you, the blue card's been glued to Rich Grady's hand this whole night.
Take a look again.
The ball gets forward, and you know, if I don't understand what Rich Grady's thinking. The ball does get by him, but there's no intent there to play the ball.
Aka just... The ball, Aka had no chance of playing that ball.
And Loveless put his head down. He's been in the box so many times. I mean, he knows what a 2-minute penalty is. But let's move on.
Right.
Great opportunity with Novi on the ball here.
Deku's going to have to come off.
And Frankie Klopas has another timeout. There's 3 minutes and 48 seconds left, Ken. I don't know about you, but this may be a good opportunity to take it.
Well, he's got it in his holster for sure. Budagaki comes back on. Alvanya's out there. Novi's out there. Stewart.
I think there's going to be a timeout here. I don't think that Sean should be on the field in this situation, but no. Play it.
And here's Stewart holding it in. Novi gives it up to Howes. Budagaki sees Howes spin right by him. Howes with it over in the corner. Howes stays upright. Budagaki recovers, and he's going to be called for the foul on the hip check.
Yeah, no need for 3 defenders to go over there. Again, they got 5 guys, we got 5 guys. Everybody find a man and just defend.
See the time, 3:32 to play. If you're watching indoor soccer for the first time, yeah, it's like this a lot. 7-all. The restart for Milwaukee here to Mormon. Gets inside of Stewart, takes a left-footed shot, and Ken Waltman comes up huge. Now to Alavanya. Missed connections with Rosenband there, and Aka will track it down, but he's got Guastafaro on him. Now Andy will drop back off. And Chicago again gets back and resets their defense. Just over 3 minutes to play now. Revillo sees it stripped away by Namoski. Now here's Alavanya.
Good composure. We talked about it earlier. Good pose and composure, getting the ball out of the back.
Well, they got to finish the deal, and they couldn't there as Mormon knocks it back to Green. 2:45 to play. We're live at US Cellular Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ken Tomash and David Moxon in the first road game in Chicago Storm history, and it's going to be a memorable one no matter what. Storm have battled back time and again, and it's tied at 7, 2.5 minutes to play.
Milwaukee's hoping that Chicago's going to wilt, and they're just not doing it.
Here's Leo Pernia now, tracking down that loose ball. Dumping it long for Namoski. Here's Sonny running onto it on left wing. Shot and a save by Green. Stewart got away with a shoulder there on Revillo. A former Wave player. Plays up to Terrieri. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Again, we will see overtime if the score remains tied. Great slide tackle by Stewart. And Aka looks like he took a knock. He's going to limp off.
Great tackle by Matthew Stewart.
Now here's Torres. As Milwaukee looks to maybe finish the deal in regulation in Chicago. And we're still here, boys. Here's White now, chested down. Shot headed towards Waltman. He grabs it. 1.5 minutes to play in regulation.
It's another first for the Chicago Storm. They've not been in this position. How will they react?
Two-line pass. Bad time for that.
Again, Waltman, a rookie goaltender, had a great game, made a crucial mistake there, but that's okay. Let's get behind the ball. Let somebody organize this from the back.
on the yellow line.
Timeout.
House wants a timeout with 1:19 to play. And we'll keep it right here. If we go to overtime, it is sudden death. First team to score will win, but we're still, you may say, well, it's only 1:19 left, but in indoor, that's an eternity. And Keith Tozer is drawing something up and hoping that Frank Lopez isn't drawing something up as well.
You're exactly right. Right now, it's Keith Tozer versus Frank Lopez. You have a coach with 600 wins versus a coach that's looking for his first. It's a great situation to be in. But I'll tell you right now, Keith Tozer, he has 5 guys he wants on the field. Frank Lopez has to do the same. Put your best defenders, your best shot blockers out on the field.
Milwaukee scored the first 3 goals of this game in the first 11 minutes. Chicago came back and tied it at 3, tied it at 4, tied it at 5, and has tied it at 7. They'll have Carrieri, Valle, Leo Pernia, Andy Guastafaro, and Jonah Long out there in front of Danny Waltman for the final minute 19, or as much of it as they can stand.
Okay, so hopefully in the huddle, Frankie gave everybody a responsibility. Wherever the ball goes, there should be a shot blocker who's going to get out and front the ball.
Remember, this was set up by a 2-line pass by Danny Waltman, so it comes back to the yellow line right there on that dot.
The wall's going to take away the right-footed shot by Greg Howes. Maybe look for Troy Desowski to take a left-footer.
Desowski runs up on it. It's exactly what we see. It goes off the glass. Howes will hold it in, though. Spins around and tugged by Valle, and that one skips past the front of the goal. 1:09 to play. Oliviero.
No need to chase the ball right now. No need to chase the ball. It's a bad change.
Kick now, the veteran. Oliviero in the corner. Tackled by Long. Long still has it. Now Rosenband tries to clear. Mormon heads it to Desowski. Left-footed shot goes in with 44 seconds to go. And the only goal of the fourth quarter to this point has given Milwaukee the lead with 44 seconds left.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Troy Desowski's got a fantastic game today. He's getting the difference for the Milwaukee Wave. Poor clearance out of the back. Chris Mormon with a nice little flick to Troy Desowski. Nice and smooth, hammers it home. But there's 44 seconds left. You take a look at the clearance, and actually we're not going to see it, but that was a result of a poor clearance by the Chicago Storm defender.
What a night for Troy Desowski. Left footer that's past Waltman to the near post. But now you throw everything forward. Do you see the 6th attacker here?
You should see the 6th attacker, absolutely. And you know what? So what? They scored a goal. There's plenty of time. We've come back and answered Milwaukee every single goal. We need to do it again in 44 seconds.
Novi is the 6th attacker. He's got the gray jersey, number 0. Now he can push forward as the extra attacker, and when the ball goes back into the penalty area, he can act as the goalkeeper for 44 seconds, so he can use his hands. Doesn't have gloves, but you see him there. Novi on as the 6th attacker. Desowski the goal. Assist to Mormon at 14-16 to the 4th. And the Storm, can they dig deep and do it one more time with an extra attacker on the floor? Here we go. Novi now to Albania. 40 seconds left. Storm need a goal to tie it and send it to overtime. Carrieri. Fouled down in the corner. 2-line pass.
2-line pass.
2-line pass. That applies to all players there as well. So this one will come back, and now Novi's got to get back in the goal. So the Storm not only have to snuff this out, but they have to then come back the other way. Mormon now, and Milwaukee want to play keep away, but Chicago's going to have to just press, and hope to get a turnover like there from Albania. Goal open at the other end.
And now you run this like a power play. 22 seconds left. Run it like a power play.
Deku. Albania goes off Carrieri. Aka heads it up. Shot saved by Green. Carrieri with a bike, he ties it. Chris Carrieri with 10 seconds to go. Gets the bicycle kick of the 6th attacker. 10 seconds left, tied at 8.
Ken, I've never seen something like that ever. The Milwaukee Wave players are looking around stunned. What a fantastic goal. Great save by Dan Green. Full extension on Deku. Chris Carrieri with a full bite.
I'll tell you what.
ESPN style.
Frank Klopas. Chris Carrieri is a nutcase, but if he scores goals like that, he can be a nutcase all he wants all year long. That was unbelievable. Take a look again.
Great save here on Deku.
Wow. What do they have left in the tank? Well, 8 seconds to go. Carrieri tied it with a bike with 10 seconds left. This is back to live action now. 1 second left. We're going to overtime. The next team to score wins. Stay in your seats if you can, but you'll probably only need the edge for overtime. We're back after this. Tied at 8 in Milwaukee.
Bringing home your firstborn, teaching your child to ride a bike in the neighborhood, celebrating birthdays and holidays. Each one of these special moments begins at home. As Chicagoland's #1 home seller, Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage knows the importance of finding the ideal home for our clients. Our realtors are simply the best in the business and will be with you every step of the way. Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage serves every community throughout Chicagoland. Visit ColdwellBankerOnline.com to find an agent near you.
These kids realize that before anything great happens, you're going to have to do an awful lot of hard work. And hopefully they'll understand that at the end of that hard work, there is rewards. If you have enough people believing in it, anything's possible.
Now get an 04 Impala with $3,500 cash back and $500 football bonus cash for a total cash back of $4,000. Plus, get an extra $1,000 bonus cash with GMAC financing.
I predict that they're going to have something special happen to them this year.
Is it true your zesty chicken border bowl isn't made until I order it?
Yep.
Sounds tasty.
I'll have a zesty chicken border bowl. A zesty chicken. A zesty chicken.
Take two.
Shit.
Taco Bell Zesty Chicken Border Bowl. Grilled all white meat chicken, hot steaming rice, crisp lettuce, and fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a freshly prepared meal, think outside the bun. Spice up the night. Open till 1 a.m. or later.
Hey, Vinny. Well, hi there, Miss Eden.
Hey, how old do I look?
Oh, no, I'm terrible when it comes to age.
You're the expert on aging.
I am?
Last night we had a couple of jewel blue ribbon grilling steaks.
And?
Wow. And why were they so juicy and tender?
It's our natural aging process, which is why we guarantee them twice.
Which makes you an expert
on aging.
So, how old do I look?
Have a nice day, Miss Eaton.
35.
Here was the goal by Carrieri that tied this game with 10 seconds left and sent it to overtime. It's 8-all. And if you like this, and how could you not, come out Wednesday night for the Cleveland game at USC Pavilion. Sudden death now, 15 minutes.
This is golden goal. Next goal wins. But I'll tell you, Ken, I want to know how I get my Chicago Storm season tickets.
I'll tell you what. Call 312-226-4625. I have a feeling, my friend, that you're going to see some more games of this team tonight.
Okay. It's going to be critical right now to eliminate the mistakes. It's not going to happen, but no stupid 2-minute penalties and no bad fouls that result in set pieces for Milwaukee.
Carrieri, Alvarez, Leo Pernia, Alvania, Deku in front of Waltman to start overtime. This is sudden death. 15 minutes. First team to score. Going to get out of here with a win.
If you just take a moment to look at the body language of these two teams, there's obviously the deflated side. It's the Milwaukee Wave right now. Chicago wants this game.
I think we've seen the beginnings of a rivalry here tonight, folks. We're underway. That time left. We're just underway in overtime. Here's Howes. Alvania on him. They push it out and it's cleared away. Now here's Alvarez losing it. Alvania will clear nicely. Green out of his area for Milwaukee. Pressure put on by Chicago. Stolen away. Here's Pernia trying to chip him, but Green got back. Well, that would have been a heck of a way to win it.
It's a nice little effort. Nice little effort.
Akkad trying to play the wall pass. Here comes Valle. Bouncing ball cleared away by Pernia over to that side, and Olivero is there. Waltman now bounces to his feet. Pick it up now. 50 seconds into sudden death overtime. Valle. Long. Now Gaston Pernia, who should be rested because I don't think he's played much since getting a misconduct call in the third quarter.
He's a competitor, though. I think he's actually injured. Oh, he's outside the box.
Green was outside the box when he grabbed that one. The ball must have stayed in the box.
Yeah, Gaston's injured, but I'll tell you what, there's no way he's going to be on the bench right now.
Here he is, marking the league MVP in sudden death overtime in the corner. Pushes it out. Hamas with a shot. Waltman with a save. 13:33 left in sudden death overtime. We're tied at 8 in Milwaukee.
Just concentrate on your defensive responsibilities.
Shift change now. Fudagaki on, being a pest to Howe. Greenfield plays it up along the near side. Oliviero down to King, the captain. Oliviero tries to play it across. King controls, back out to Aka. See the time, 13 minutes left in sudden death. Aka chips it in the corner. King is there to have it come over his head. Guastafaro is there, gives it up to Nino Marcantonio. King pops it back out to Marcantonio. Backfield to Greenfield.
Nice job defensively by Chicago. Just make the ball go back out. Make the ball go back out.
I think at this point, dude, Milwaukee hopes they can get the game winner, and I believe Chicago believes they can.
Well, Chicago's doing what they're supposed to do. They're making the field small. Milwaukee's expending energy, and here we go.
Here's Alvagna. Tried to send it through, but now Carrieri's back on. Will it matter? Because here's Milwaukee looking for the game winner. Saved by Waltman.
One of the things, Ken,
and he wants a timeout.
And that's a good timeout. I was just going to mention the fact that Chicago runs in 2 lines. In most instances, Milwaukee runs in 3. So they have a decided advantage late in the game in terms of how fresh they are. But Chicago is functioning solely on heart.
Right now, they're running on adrenaline.
And you can see it again. Take a look at the body language of the Milwaukee Wave. Keith Tozer versus Frankie Klopas right now.
Oh, he's just going to be, he's an emotional guy to begin with, but he is really, he's spreading the gospel here. He's in that huddle making it like a prayer meeting. Here's Waltman coming up big a couple of times. Can he do it again? Can he keep Milwaukee off the scoreboard while his mates try to punch home the game winner in overtime?
I'll tell you, if I'm Chicago, I'm asking myself how I'm going to score. Can't play defense for the entire overtime period, but what they've done successfully is keep the field small and counterattack. Take advantage of the lack of team speed on Milwaukee's part. Be patient. We could be here all night.
Here's Alvagna now off the goalkeeper distribution from Waltman. Tried to get around Torres, and Torres fouled him. Chicago restart. Carrieri, the danger man up top. That one comes off to Valle, but Green will scoop it up. Hamas for Milwaukee. Took this one in for Schmidt. Carrieri knocked that one back to Waltman. Long ball by Waltman. Bounces. Rosenband trying to get there. Trying to dig it out of that corner, and Andy called for the foul.
That's a good foul. Get everybody behind the ball. I think Andy's had a fantastic game today. It's some of the role players, you know, we didn't figure that he was going to have such a significant role, but he's played fantastic tonight.
The Ohio State product. And now here's Aka. 11:23 left in overtime. The first overtime. We'll play here all night until somebody scores. Oliviero with Gaston Pernia on it. Kicks it back out. Loose ball. Stewart had that one go off Grady. Howe's looking for the gamer, but right into the gut of Waltman, and Waltman's barreling people over to get to the top of the box.
And now we just keep possession. Do the same thing. Don't get dispossessed. Make the easy pass.
Here's Alvarez with a Ka on him. Tries to spin, can't do it. But Alavanya will run onto that loose ball. Send it down. And here's Alvarez fouling a Ka in the box.
And I'll tell you what, Alvarez earned that foul. He was baiting a Ka every time he got possession.
Well, fouling a Ka, rather, yeah. Alvarez, he's going to be okay.
What do you think, timeout here? I keep saying timeout before every free kick. Great opportunity here.
Here's Deku. He just wants to end it. To Alvanya. I want to go up and over the glass, but it went off a defender for a corner. Stewart, Alvanya, Futagaki, Deku, and Alvarez out there now for Chicago. Quickly, a quick change for Milwaukee. Here's Alvanya, shot off the glass. Stewart tried to get a head on it, couldn't.
Go back all the way. Go back all the way.
Held in by Deku. Futagaki, shot, score! Futagaki wins it! The first and only time tonight that the Chicago Storm have led this game, indeed the first time all season, and they win it with a guy just signed officially yesterday because of Ted Chronopoulos' injury. Welcome to the MISL, and welcome, folks in Chicago, to what's going to be Chicago Storm soccer all year long.
I'll tell you what, the best team won tonight. The best team won tonight. I don't care if you're an expansion team or you're a three-time MISL champion. The best team won tonight.
Look at tonight, on the spot, left footer. Green got a piece of it. You can see the face of Dan Green. And Ryan Futagaki may have never had a better night in soccer in his life.
Do you think he'll sign another 15-day contract before he leaves the field tonight?
I think his price just went up, actually, and Frank Lopez, the general manager, right now does not care. I think we got the beginnings of a rivalry, folks. The Storm wins this one 9-8 in overtime on Ryan Futagaki's overtime goal. We'll be back to wrap this thing up. What a win for the Chicago Storm in Milwaukee. Stay with us for the postgame show. 9-8 Chicago on Comcast Sports Net.
The extra service, the quality of the service at Jiffy Lube is a mindset. It's a pride in what we do. It's our people understanding that the customer has every opportunity to go somewhere else.
Well, I have pride in the Jiffy Lube name and the job we do, and that we do the job well.
Jiffy Lube's a great place to work if you love cars the way we do.
I've had this, love affair of cars, if you will, for many, many years, and I think a lot of us in this business are that way.
Can you tell who has the lowest mortgage rate in your neighborhood? If any of them use the honest people at a guaranteed rate, you might. They'll beat any lender's rate or pay you $250. It's that simple. For the lowest mortgage rate guaranteed, call us at 866-934-RATE. Guaranteed rate. Lowest rate, guaranteed.
Whew, that's the only thing I can think to say, David Moxon, is just, whew, it's getting hot in here. Well, the Storm wins at 9-8 on a night when they showed a lot of heart. We saw a little, saw some pushing and shoving. I think we saw the birth of a rivalry tonight.
We most certainly did. I'll tell you what, if you're a Chicago Storm fan, you gotta love what you saw tonight. I'll tell you, they were fantastic. They clawed their way back into this game after being down 3-0. Fantastic effort.
Never seen a goal like Carrieri's, have you?
It's the goal of the year.
Already, we're a week into the season. Carrieri gets the goal to make it 8-8, send it into overtime. We'll take a look at Carrieri's goal as this bicycle kick just goes. He knocks this one. Here's the game winner, though, as working very deliberately. That one ball falls right to the feet of Ryan Futagaki, and the kid from UCLA does the high kick. That was his second best kick of the night. Actually, the kick was a little bit better than the kick to put the ball in, but we'll take it. And it's going to be a happy bus ride home for the Chicago Storm as they win it, get their first win in franchise history, and they could not have asked for a better place to get it than here in Milwaukee. Last thoughts, David?
I'm in awe. I'm in awe. I think Frankie Klopas has done a great job of assembling a great group of players. They're going to compete for an MISL playoff spot this year, I guarantee it.
All right. So for David Moxon and for our entire crew here at US Cellular Arena, thanks for being with us tonight. Yeah, most of the games are like this. Join us Wednesday night at UIC Pavilion against the Cleveland Force, and then our next game here on Comcast Sports Net is Friday night, November 26th against this Milwaukee Wave team from the Pavilion. For everybody here, this is Ken Tomash saying good night. Have a great weekend, everybody.